The following is a presentation of TBS Sports. Exclusively on Superstation TBS.
Last night, the Boston Garden was the scene for the rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Detroit Pistons, who hadn't won here in 21 straight, were once again matched up against the Celtic Mystique. But this was not to be a night for streaks and mystiques. Isiah Thomas caught fire in the fourth, and the Pistons have a 1-0 lead. It may have been a costly win, though, as Bill Laimbeer left the game with a bruised shoulder. And though he'll start, his effectiveness may be hampered. It's K.C. Jones's last year with the Celtics. He can't let Chuck Daly's Pistons nudge him out of the playoffs. Game 2, that's next.
TBS Sports presents the NBA Playoffs, America's Game. Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller Brewing Company, sole sponsor of the U.S. Olympic Training Centers, and by Jeep Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Rick Barry, Skip Caray, welcoming you to another night of NBA playoff basketball. A jam-packed Boston Garden, of course. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and a major surprise last night. The Detroit Pistons, who had lost 21 straight times on the parquet floor, stunned the Boston Celtics, beating them 104-96. That just 24 hours ago, and the veteran Celtics have to go against this tough Detroit team again in the Garden. Before we talk about tonight, look, Rick Barry, let's talk a little bit about last night. How in the world did Detroit pull that big upset?
Well, it certainly was a surprising one, and there really are several reasons why it occurred. As we take a look at the reasons that we have listed on the screen right now, you can see that the bench scoring was really totally in favor of the Pistons, with the Boston 4 points coming only in the first half. Isiah Thomas spectacular with 35 points and 12 assists, and great floor leadership and defense. But look at those field goals. 56% for Detroit, Boston with only 42%, and that despite the fact that Kevin McHale was 13 of 17 for 76%. Shows you how poorly the rest of the Boston starters played. McHale only 4 shots in that particular quarter, and they really didn't do a very good job of getting the ball into McHale's hands. They had impatience with their offense, and that's something they worked on today at shoot-around.
The pressure has to be on Boston. They need this game desperately. Detroit, of course, would like to have it, but a split was really what they wanted when they came in here.
Well, of course, they're going to feel very confident going back home, knowing the worst it will be. It'll be 1-1. But I think that the Celtics have to do a better job of getting the ball to McHale. McHale has killed them over the last 5 years, averaging over 26 points, shooting over 60%. But you must credit the Detroit defense for being able to prevent McHale from doing things. As you're going to see in this defensive sequence coming up right here, you'll watch some picks on the right side of your screen coming up. A little back pick by Ainge. Now look at the Pistons. They fight through, do a good job of staying with their men. Then McHale sends a pick down there for Larry Bird. Rodman goes in to get him. The ball goes into McHale. Triple team. And look at the good recovery on the part of the Pistons. Dennis Johnson has to take a very quick shot. And that's the type of defense that Detroit has thrown out there. And while they were able to do such a good job on McHale, they need more of that tonight. But tonight's game, Skip, I think, is a real test of the character and pride of the Boston Celtics. If they don't win this ball game, I don't think they have a chance to win the series.
Should be a good one. Craig Sager standing by in our studios. Then we'll be back with the game.
Very much, Skip and Rick. LA and Dallas have the night off, but all's not quiet on the Western Front. We'll hear from Pat Riley, Roy Tarpley, and Byron Scott. And Roy Johnson will have his critique of Dallas forward Mark Aguirre. In Houston, Rocket center Hakeem Olajuwon is blasting his teammates. He wants a new point guard, a new forward, and a new power forward, and a new small forward. We'll tell you why at halftime. But up next, it's the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons.
The temperature's rising, and nothing beats the heat better than an ice-cold, great-tasting Miller High Life, Miller Lite, or Miller Genuine Draft. So make sure you stock up now, because it's getting awfully warm out there.
Hot, hot.
And look for Miller's triple take offer. We've got a deal on a cooler that's...
We go above and beyond just like you, above and beyond what we have to do.
I'm a Prudential representative. When I talk to people about CDs and mutual funds, they're surprised at the wide range of investment opportunities I can offer.
You work hard, so do we, to make what you've worked for a reality. The Rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
And what makes you think we won't end up like last year?
What happened last year?
We ordered new computers when the loans department expanded, but it took us 6 months to develop their application software.
Where I used to work, we get to keep our software when we upgraded our computers. We used AT&T.
AT&T.
Why didn't you think of that?
And here we go with game 2, and here's the way they'll line up for the contest. No changes for Detroit, and that in itself is a surprise, as Bill Laimbeer is back in the game. Nobody, including Chuck Daly, thought he'd be able to answer the bell tonight, but he has. Isiah Thomas, the big hero last night, and Chuck Daly has his team in great position. Meanwhile, for the Celtics, you'll see them reach back tonight, I'm sure. They're a tired team, but a very proud one, as Rick pointed out. There's the way they'll go, and K.C. Jones is their fine coach in this, his last year. So we're ready to go, and sincerely hope that you will enjoy it. Your officials, as assigned by the National Basketball Association, Jack Madden and Mike Mathis, will work the game with Bill Saar, the alternate, across the way in case anyone is incapacitated during the game. That bench scoring looks terrible, but it's really not surprising. It's been that way for Boston for the last several years.
Yeah, I think the rebounding even hurt him as well. 20-3 in favor of the Pistons.
Boston wins the draw. Larry Bird with the ball. Parish into the lane. In and out. Laimbeer the rebound. Here comes Isiah Thomas. Mahorn saves it on the wing. Bird knocks it out of bounds. Adrian Dantley inbounds, corner court. He's double teamed. Joe Dumars left it short over the backboard. Automatically it goes to Boston. Dennis Johnson up the floor. He had a tough night last night. Dennis just 3 out of 14 from the field. Larry Bird was 8 out of 20. This guy was 13 out of 17. Dennis Johnson, no. Rebound Parish, yes.
Well, penetration will get you those type of opportunities.
2-0 Boston. Isiah Thomas into the lane, gets Dantley the open set shot. Well, he's made a living with that shot in this brief series. The game is tied 2-2. Danny Ainge in control for Boston. Kevin McHale. Dennis Johnson from 18. He nails it.
Well, if you remember game number 1 last night, Dennis Johnson also hit his first shot in that game from outside and then went ice cold.
Dantley played by Bird. He looks low to Dumars. Can't get a shot away. Up top, Isiah Thomas. Dantley with 7 on the timer. Another set shot. Not this time. Rebound McHale, and a foul is called.
Pushing by McHale.
His on the team's first. Dantley gets it into Joe Dumars. Dumars works against Dennis Johnson. 10-14 left first quarter. Isiah for 2, gets none. Parish for the rebound. He's been very active in the early going. Ahead it comes to McHale on a drive. Banks it up. No. Rebound tip. No. Next rebound. Out of there, Isiah Thomas. Isiah on the move. Intercepted by Danny Ainge. Good anticipation. Dennis Johnson with it now. Johnson front court, head of the circle for Bird, jumping over Dantley. 6-2 Boston. Isiah gets play instructions from Chuck Daly. Adrian Dantley, right wing, into the lane, finds an open Isiah Thomas, passes up the jump shot. Dumars Could catch a cold. He's so lonesome. He drills it.
But again, the Detroit offense all outside so far. They have not established an inside game as yet.
McHale against Mahorn. Laimbeer doubles. Out it comes to Ainge. Stripped away by Isiah. He's got Dumars with him against Bird. It's Dumars. Bird knocked it away. What a play.
Well, I think Isiah should have pulled out to the left side and gotten a little bit wider. It's a lot easier for Bird to carry. You see him going right down the middle, and there's really not much spacing between the two players. Bird only has to take one step and knocks the ball away from Dumars. Had he widened out, it would have been much more difficult for Larry to have to make a decision in that situation.
If Larry ever runs short of cash, which is highly unlikely, he can be a very effective pickpocket in his older days. Isiah Thomas shoots on the run, won't go. Offensive foul, Isiah.
That was excellent defense by Dennis Johnson. You see the right arm as he makes the contact. He's got good, but then he jumps right into him there with the shoulder. As Dennis Johnson had good position. Isiah definitely initiated the contact.
Back live, Dennis Johnson up top. Lobs it low for Parish. Beats Laimbeer. Blocked away by Mahorn. Had the foul to do it. He saved the basket, committed the foul.
They may have gotten away with some little bitty steps that he took there before he shot the ball. He shuffled his feet a little bit, but he's at the free throw line, and that's all the Celtics care about.
Isiah and Chuck Daly talk it over. Detroit ought to be nice and loose in this game. They've already done what they set out to do, and that's get a split here. If they can win two, boy, that's gravy. Parish has 3.
Well, interesting statistic. In the history of the Boston Celtic franchise, 35 times they have gone back-to-back games where they had to play during the playoffs. In all of that history, they've only lost back-to-back games 3 times, but they've all come in the 80s, Skip, and that tells you a little something about how the league's parity is getting a little bit better.
Isiah Thomas stops, pops, yes. His first points, that makes it 8-6. Boston has the lead and the ball. Danny Ainge up the floor. Kevin McHale on the baseline. Jumps. Got it. McHale has his first basket. 10-6. Turnover. Boston has it back. Bird inbounds. They want to go in a hurry right now. They feel themselves on a bit of a roll. Parish hands it back to Dennis Johnson. One-on-one with Dumars. Goes to the base. Has it knocked away. He's fouled. It'll be on Dumars.
See Adrian Dantley playing against Larry Bird, trying to deny him the opportunity to go where he wants to with that little contact, and then the good screen by Bird, freeing up Dennis Johnson, who draws the foul. For those of you who may have been wondering who the Celtics did lose back-to-back games against, in '81 it was Philly in the Eastern Finals, but they won that series, Skip, in 7. Against in '83, they lost to Milwaukee, but they lost 4 straight in the Eastern semis. And then in '84, they lost to the Lakers in Game 1 and won the championship in 7 games.
Dennis Johnson has 3 points. 8 minutes left, first quarter. Boston leads 11-6. Isiah works on Danny Ainge, shoots on the run, and the finger roll is beautifully done. Thomas has 4. Boston ready to run with him. They churn back to the other end. McHale in the pivot draws a crowd. Danny Ainge is open. Stops at the foul line. Finds Dennis Johnson. Look at that. Dumars. He is all over the place. Parish with it over Laimbeer. Great shot. Good defense by Detroit, but Boston got the basket nonetheless.
But again, they could have taken a couple of quick shots like they were doing the other night, and they were a little bit more patient with their offense.
Mahorn works on Parish. Laimbeer's first shot of the night. Left it short. Rebound Parish. Boy, the Chief having a big game. Danny Ainge up the floor in a hurry for Boston. Into the pivot. McHale fades, fires. No. Laimbeer the rebound. Isiah Thomas 3-on-3. Thomas fills the middle, goes to the hole, scoops it up, no good. He's on the deck. Rebound Parish. Ahead to Bird. To Ainge on a drive. Good. Has his first point. 6:45 left. Detroit wants a 22nd timeout, and they get it here. First standing ovation of the night in the Boston Garden. Celtics lead it 15-8. We have 6:42 remaining, and they've shown a willingness to run with the Detroit team, Rick.
Well, yes, they can do it in spurts, but you can't keep that same pace up for the whole ball game. I think it would just be too much to ask from the Celtic players. You know, watch Larry Bird here as he's just in position, got his hands out, wants the ball. Come on, guys, here I am. I'm wide open. Get it over here. Come on. Come on, get it over here. No good this time for Larry. But it's a situation where they really have to go ahead and keep playing with this intensity. That's been the difference, the Celtic intensity.
Well, now a full timeout has been called here. 6:42 left. Boston already up by 7.
Introducing the 1989 Eagle Medallion. Sophisticated, nimble, backed by a 7-year, 70,000-mile protection plan. New Eagle Medallion, the latest in a series of quality automobiles to wear the Eagle emblem.
Tonight, his mission, turn raw recruits into Marines.
If I can't teach you one way, I'll teach you another.
Prepare them for battle.
Can't learn the easy way, you'll learn the hard way.
And keep them alive.
Move out and stay down.
John Wayne, Sands of Iwo Jima. 10:20 on Superstation 17 tonight.
Tomorrow night, the Western Conference Showdown moves to Texas, where Dallas fires away at mighty Los Angeles in the NBA playoffs. 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow.
Well, Boston off to a quick start in this ball game, and prior to the game, I asked Detroit coach Chuck Daly what he expected Boston may do differently in this game.
They saw the kind of intensity we had last night. They'll match it or try to do better. They know this is probably the most important game of the season for them. They can't afford to go 2 down. We look for a terrific effort early in the contest.
Well, I think, Skip, that's exactly what we've been seeing here, a great effort on the part of the Celtics. They have come out fired up and know that this is a critical game for them.
And they enjoy a 15-8 lead, 6:42 left in the first quarter. More NBA action tomorrow night on TBS. Los Angeles at Dallas. Bob Neal, Steve Jones will have it for you. Joe Dumars has himself his second basket. 15-10. Boston has the lead. They control the ball. 6.5 minutes left in the first period. Larry Bird, 17 feet away, gives it to Parish from 12. Nowhere near. Dantley rebound. Sends out Dumars. Dumars looks low to Mahorn. He can't control it. Out of the pack, Danny Ainge. Ainge to the front court. Cross court Bird down low. It's Parish. Short jump. Good. Parish from Bird. Parish with 8 points.
Well, Robert shot 36% in game number 1, but he's throwing up almost everything he throws up is going in here.
Dantley set shot good again. Boy, he's wearing out a groove in that particular spot on the floor. 17-12, 5:45 left first quarter. Bird from 22 shot an air ball nowhere near, and the ball goes to Detroit.
Boy, was that strange to see. I can't remember seeing Larry Bird shoot an air ball from that position before.
He's so good that you automatically look around thinking somebody blocked it, but nobody did, and no argument from Boston. And here come the Pistons with a chance to move to within 3. Benny Johnson has checked in and makes his presence felt immediately.
But again, this Piston team, known as a perimeter ball club, still has not established an inside game, and it's pretty tough to win if you don't get something going inside.
Mahorn and McHale bang at one another down low again. McHale gets the ball, crashes into Laimbeer, and now a whistle. Gonna call a foul on Detroit. It's on Laimbeer. Boy, he's got a great career in wrestling ahead of him when his NBA days are over if he wants it. But I don't think he will. Dennis Johnson up top. Ainge with it. McHale out away from the hoop. Ainge, no. Rebound, Benny Johnson. 17-14. Detroit can move to within 1. Laimbeer handles the ball up top. Dantley with it. Bird falls down. That frees Dantley, and the layup is good. Bird at the other end attacks quickly and jumps. Nope. Rebound Mahorn.
Again, that's a quick shot for the Celtics. Nobody was down in position to even rebound it. If that's one of those shots, if it goes in, it's fine. But if not, those are the type of plays that hurt them in the game last night.
Vinnie Johnson, Detroit can take the lead. Vinnie on the drive. Got it. Great shot. He has 4. And just like that, Detroit by 1. James Edwards about to report. And a timeout is called here by Boston. Timeout on the floor. 4:10 left first quarter. Detroit has come off the deck early, and they lead it by 1. Our score is 18-17.
Right now, the only thing that would taste better than a nice cold one is a cold filtered one. Yeah, if you want a beer whose real draft taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, we've got it down cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
Gillette has changed the face of shaving. First, we made it closer. Then we made it smoother. Atra Plus. Its Lubra Smooth Strip actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Incredible smoothness from the first stroke to the last. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
I started taking heart disease seriously when I learned that it kills twice as many people as cancer. And last year, it killed more Americans than both world wars, the Korean War and Vietnam put together. This year, it'll kill nearly 1 million people. But what scares me most is all the kids that'll leave without mommies and daddies. Now, what's it going to take to scare you?
You can help prevent heart disease. We can tell you how.
Well, I'll tell you, Skip, this is indicative of what took place last night. The Pistons coming out and smoking after a slow start, 64% to only 44% for the Boston Celtics, who were making their shots early. Now they've let the Pistons back in as Bill Laimbeer gets a little heat on that shoulder of his.
Well, he showed you a lot of courage just trying to play as badly as he got banged up last night. James Edwards in the game. Dennis Johnson dribbles the perimeter. Edwards had a big game for him last night while Laimbeer was missing. Parish against Edwards. Robert wheels and deals. Got it. Parish has 10. Boston by 1, 19-18. He's been the big man for the Celtics in the first quarter. Dantley played now by Dennis Johnson. Stops and a whistle.
It's offensive foul on Dantley as he threw the arm out. And if they hadn't called that, he traveled right afterwards.
And Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge bring it up the floor. 3:40 left. Boston by 1, first quarter. Barry and Caray from Boston Garden, where the lights are burning bright. McHale wheels, almost walks, knocked away by Vinnie Johnson. Recovered by Dennis Johnson to Ainge. Ainge fakes. No call, and a hook by Perry.
Well, I'll tell you, he fell down and the ball hit the floor without anybody touching the ball. I would think of anything. It would be walking or maybe double dribbling or something, but
no call was made. Isiah Thomas up the court. Vinnie Johnson, 16 feet away, is checked. Out it comes to Thomas. Rick Mahorn throws it away. Ainge the interception. Ainge up the right wing.
That's two nice plays by Danny Ainge on anticipation moves.
Into the lane, checked by Mahorn. McHale jumps ahead. Only his second basket, and just like that, Boston by 5 again, 23-18.
You see those turnovers really hurting the Pistons now, 6-1. They've given up 9 points off the turnovers. Difference in the ball game right now.
Isiah Thomas front court. Vinnie Johnson from 20. Oh, he can shoot it. He had a tough year, but he was 5 out of 9 last night, and he started well this evening. Ainge to the front court. Mahorn and McHale bang away at one another, but that's what else is new. Interception, Vinnie Johnson. He's got a 3-on-2 to Edwards. No foul there. Recovered by Dennis Johnson. Ainge a 3-on-1. Foul Mahorn. Second foul on Rick Mahorn.
Edwards going up. Parish tips the ball away, it looked like. Didn't look like Parish got him. Couldn't see Bird from the other side. And now coming down, Danny Ainge. Rick Mahorn going to make sure he gets him pretty good right there.
No doubt about the foul at that.
Well, they talked about things. I mean, Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn, I remember in the last series when they were playing and talking to him one of the games we were covering, they started laughing about watching some of the games where the Lakers against Utah, or a lot of times were able to just go right down the middle of the lane. And they said, against us, you don't get the chance to do that. Somebody's going to take you out.
The Spider-Man, John Sally, is in the game for Detroit. Mahorn goes out. We're in the 2-minute period in quarter number 1. Vinnie Johnson, the open jumper from Dantley, not this time. Rebound, James Edwards. That won't go. Next rebound, big scramble out of the pack, John Sally. Vinnie Johnson one-on-one with Dennis Johnson. Finds Adrian Dantley up top. Dantley down low. Isiah, good fake, lays it up good, drew the foul. Dantley got him the ball beautifully.
Very good patience that time on the part of the Pistons, as they did a good job on the offensive boards. Now look at the good pass by Adrian Dantley on the cut by Isiah. Now he gives him the fake. There's the paratrooper club. And I don't see where Danny Ainge actually hit Isiah Thomas on that play.
Free throw, no good by Thomas. Ainge the rebound. First free throw of the night for Detroit, and it comes up unsuccessful. Ainge front court, up top Dennis Johnson, cross court. Reggie Lewis is checked in. Knocked away, he gets it back. Up top it comes with, for 3, Dennis Johnson, he drew it. So he has 6. It's 28-22.
So far, this is a game of mini runs on the part of both teams. Time for the Pistons now to get one if it continues this way.
Vinnie Johnson. He has 8 off their bench.
I think he likes to see Celtics written on the jerseys. He seems to respond quite well to that challenge.
He's 4 out of 5 from the field tonight. Parish up top, played by Edwards. Stops, pops. Not this time. Edwards the rebound. Vinnie Johnson with it now. 42 seconds left in the quarter. And a foul. Now he's 5 out of 6. Dennis Johnson the foul.
We'll take a look again. Vinnie Johnson, the microwave heating up. McHale runs right by him, doesn't pick him up. That leaves him open at 15. Dennis Johnson too late to go over and pick him up.
And Vinnie converts the 3-point play, and another mini run is underway. Boston by 1, 28-27. Lewis against Dantley. McHale against Sally, and now a double team. Dennis Johnson from the foul line. No. Rebound Sally. Good outlet pass, Vinnie Johnson. Great move by him to Dantley. Hit the bottom of the basket, but there's Sally.
Vinnie Johnson showing a little flash out there.
Detroit by 1. Boston plays for the final shot. What a quarter. You see the time remaining. The Celtics have all of that. Uh-oh. Isiah Thomas, the clock right in front of him, got it away. It would not have counted anyway. At the end of 1, and what a quarter it was. Detroit 29, Boston 28.
Jeep Eagle, the official vehicles of the NBA, presents the NBA Rulebook Quiz. The Celtics look to score on the fast break, and New York's Patrick Ewing grabs both the rim and the net in an attempt to block the shot. Is this a legal block?
With an optional 4-liter monster under its hood, Jeep Comanche doesn't just stand apart. It stands alone.
Save up to $2,050 on selected Jeep vehicles. America's winners.
The NBA rulebook states that if a defensive player hangs on the rim to touch a loose ball that has an opportunity to go in, the call is both goaltending and a technical foul.
Now, the final chapter, students, in Bosworth's book of etiquette, personal hygiene. How will you separate yourselves from those barbaric hordes that exude a most malodorous air? New Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette. Maximum protection and a fresh new scent. A veritable old factory medley. New Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Raise your glasses, gentlemen, to civilization.
Portions of tonight's NBA playoff game are brought to you by Jeep Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA, and by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Well, the microwave wave is heated up quickly for the Detroit Pistons. We'll watch what happens in this play as you see Vinnie Johnson go out from underneath the basket as John Sally, 22, catches the rebound. He'll find Vinnie on the right side. Now watch this behind-the-back dribble to lose Lewis. Then there's the behind-the-back pass to Adrian Dantley. He can't get the lefty up, misses it, but John Sally, who got the rebound, hustles down for it. Here's a level from the ground level. There's that behind-the-back move. Now here's the little behind-the-back pass. AD again couldn't get it up on the left side. Misses the shot, but the ever-present John Sally is right there. And so the Pistons on their little run right now have the lead after one.
By a single point, Joe Dumars is back in the game. Jim Paxson, Mark Akers have checked in for the Celtics. Dantley banks it up and in. He has 8 points. Danny Ainge up the floor for Boston. 3-point lead for the Pistons. Second period has just begun. Paxson hits the deck. He'll shoot 2 if he's able. And he is.
Dumars, excellent back cut by Paxson, who really is one of the best guards in the NBA, moving without the basketball. As you see the first period stats, the Pistons again off to a great start. They shot over 60% in ball game number 1 last night. Celtics still struggling a bit, and the Pistons holding their own on the rebounds. It was the turnovers that hurt them. That plus the fact that they really didn't establish a really great inside ball game. The Celtics did and got to the line 6 times to only 2 for the Pistons.
Paxson makes the 2 free throws. Joe Dumars up the floor. Isiah Thomas rests on the Detroit bench. Laimbeer thought about it. He may be a little hesitant to shoot with that bad shoulder, though he looked good in warm-ups. Dantley back to Laimbeer for 3. No, and there's Bird with a rebound. Boston can reclaim the lead with a hoop here. Bird over Sally. No. Rebound, Mark Akers. Yes. Well, they have 4 points off their bench already tonight. The Celtics do, and they lead 32-31. 10:45 left till halftime. Vinnie Johnson up top. From 20, in and out. Rebound Akers. Ahead it comes to Danny Ainge. Cross court, Paxson on a drive. Yeah.
Well, Boston with their mini run, Skip. I mean, this has been incredible how this game has seesawed back and forth with 4, 6, or 8 point runs on the part of both teams.
Isiah Thomas about to return. Dennis Rodman about to check in. Reggie Lewis with an interception. He had to foul to do it. The rookie from Northeastern called for the foul. Loose ball foul. Here comes Rodman and Thomas. At the conclusion of the game, Rick will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game, by the way. Vinnie Johnson up top. Stops and pops. He's something. He's got 13 off the bench. Here comes Danny Ainge. Boston by 1 with the ball. That's stripped away by Thomas. Recovered by Rodman. Ahead to Sally against Bird. Yes.
That was a nice play by Sally. I thought Isiah gave the ball a little bit too quickly that far out in the court, but Sally did a good job handling it.
He handles the ball for a 7-footer extremely well. Bird is 1 for 4. He's 1 for 5. Rodman the rebound. Vinnie Johnson up the floor for Detroit.
Well, Larry continuing cold. He only had 1 basket in the 4th quarter of last night's game.
Sally again. He's hit as he makes it. And for the second night in a row, Sally giving him a lift. He was 5 out of 6 last night.
That's Vinnie Johnson behind the back, through the legs. Then he hits to Sally, who made the good play to roll to the basket when he saw the switch coming up. And that's what you really need to do. You have to be aware of what's taking place on the court. And anytime you're defender turns his head or goes to help out, the smart place to go is towards the hoop.
Reggie Lewis has committed his second foul. Sally makes the free throw. John with 7 points. Jim Paxson heads the other way. 22nd timeout by Boston. They're behind by 4. 38-34, and Rick, you brought up the point about the mini runs. One thing Detroit has been able to do in this game, in this building, has been keep them at mini runs, not let Boston get off on one of those 20-4 type runs that they're so good at doing.
Well, yes, and it's really important for the Pistons, I think, to stay close in this ball game. And talking to Chuck Daly before the game, that's what he was hoping, that they could be in the ball game in that fourth quarter, and then hope that perhaps if they can keep the pace of the game at a very high level of intensity, that the Celtics may wear out just a little bit, very similar to what they might have done in last night's ball game. Although I don't think fatigue was a factor last night. I just think impatience really cost them.
38-34 the count. K.C. Jones, and sends his troops back out there. Larry Bird, Jim Paxson, Mark Akers, Reggie Lewis, Dennis Johnson. He's playing his reserves much more than he normally does in this first half.
Well, he's got more points than they had in the whole game last night. They have 6-4, but Detroit's not too shabby with 20 from their bench.
Lewis. Be a foul on Rodman. Only the second team foul. Boston inbounds on the side. That's not a surprise, that bench statistic. That's the way Boston plays. Bird, 17-footer, his second hoop. That's one thing that Detroit, Chuck Daly and his troops have to know. They haven't heard much from Bird yet. Benny Johnson hangs in the air, in and out, no good. Rebound Bird. Boston can tie. 8:40 left till halftime. Bird on the wing over Sally, not this time. Laimbeer rebound. Benny Johnson up the court to Isiah. John Sally against Mark Akers. Good look inside. Isiah Thomas gets the hoop.
Pistons are doing a good job of making cuts to the basket and starting to look for that inside play a little bit more.
Kevin McHale about to return to the Boston scheme of things. 8:05 left.
Well, they don't have an inside game going for themselves. Everything's been outside.
Foul on Sally, and the shot missed by Bird. Larry will be on the line to shoot two. Reggie Lewis out as Kevin McHale returns.
You see Paxson looking at Larry Bird, who gets the inside position. Sally just well, a little fell on his back in the game, a little push, but he joined that paratrooper club. You cannot take those fakes of Larry Bird. He's a very deceptive player, and once you get yourself going up, Larry's going to burn you just like he did there. Show you how bad things were last night for Boston. Larry Bird going 3 for 5 from the line. You don't see that very often.
Parish checks back in. Mark Akers out for Boston, so KC can't stay with his reserves perhaps as long as he would have liked. Bird has 6. 40-38. Detroit has the lead and the ball. Isiah Thomas against Dennis Johnson. Laimbeer, the open man. Yes.
Well, Chuck Daly told me before the ball game they're going to run a few more pick and roll plays, and with Bill Laimbeer it's really called a pick and fade because he fades out for the jumper rather than rolling.
That's his first hoop. Sally gambled on the steal, didn't get it. Parish missed it. Rebound, Laimbeer. Jump ball. He's tied up by Parish.
A pretty quick whistle on the jump ball, but that ball was actually touched by Sally, and the fans were moaning because they thought perhaps it was touched on the way down.
Chuck is a picture of
man of 1,000 faces.
Of depression at the moment. Detroit will probably try to steal this one. And they are unsuccessful.
Almost knocked Skip Caray to save the monitor and Dennis Rodman as he come crashing into us on that play. Great hustle on the part of Dennis Rodman.
And on the part of us to save his life.
To save the drinks from spilling all over us.
That too. Isiah Thomas from 19. That won't go. McHale the rebound. Dennis Johnson checked by Isiah. He posts him up, turns and jumps. Nice shot. McHale's on the deck and a whistle. Score the goal for Dennis Johnson. He has 8. Foul Laimbeer, his second.
Keep an eye on number 40 in the blue, Bill Laimbeer, after we see this little post-up move on the part of DJ with the right arm. Good acting job by Kevin McHale.
He goes to the foul line, McHale.
Yeah, that's kind of turning the tables. Bill Laimbeer is known for giving those type of acting jobs. Bill usually doesn't get the call, however, because they're not used to seeing Kevin do it quite so frequently.
Isiah Thomas behind a Laimbeer pick, which disintegrates. 12 on the shot clock. Another pick, Laimbeer. Thomas missed it. Rebound, McHale. Boston can take over the lead. Bird finds McHale one-on-one with Sally. Down goes Sally. No whistle. Pass Parish. Layup good. Parish with 14. 43-42 Boston. 6.5 minutes till halftime. Rick Barry, Skip Caray with you from the Boston Garden. Vinnie Johnson, offensive foul. Take it away.
Chuck Daly not too pleased.
Boston calls timeout. The official Mike Mathis wisely stays at the other end of the floor.
Here's the play. Paxson moving. Vinnie Johnson right there straight up. I don't think that's an offensive foul. Paxson looked like he just tripped a little bit. That's not a good call. And a good reason for Chuck Daly to be upset. He has not gotten many breaks in this series so far.
6:26 left in the half. Boston by 1.
You know what smooth is? You gotta stop and taste the high life. Smooth is the sensation of cracking open a cold Miller High Life. Smooth is the anticipation of that first mouthful hitting the back of your parched throat. Smooth is the feeling of a beer that goes down easy, never bitter. Stop and taste the High Life. Smooth is knowing how good that first Miller High Life tasted, and that it's time to enjoy another.
Gillette has changed the face of shaving. First, we made it closer. Then we made it smoother. Atra Plus. Its Lubra Smooth Strip actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Incredible smoothness from the first stroke to the last. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
Hi, this is Grandpa, and I'll be your host for Super Scary Saturday on the Superstation. Get ready for the tag team bout of old time when Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan take on Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. This picture gives no meaning to the saying, 3 heads are better than 1. So join me, Grandpa, for Super Scary Saturday.
12:05 Eastern on Superstation TBS Saturday.
All right, here's that last foul. You can judge for yourself. Now watch, Vinnie Johnson will beat Paxson on this move. Little crossover dribble. Now Paxson reaches in with the right arm right there, and all Vinnie does is try to get the right arm off him. He's really beaten right now. There he is, a little contact. Paxson, a little off balance, starts to fall down, and they give the offensive foul to Vinnie Johnson for that little move with the left arm after Paxson was beaten and was reaching in. That's not a real good break for Vinnie Johnson and the Pistons right there. He made a nice move to get open, Skip.
That might have been one where no call would have been the right call.
Exactly.
You could have called it either way.
Exactly.
There was contact both ways. Dennis Johnson to the front court. 6:20 remaining. Outside of being happily married, being an NBA referee is the hardest job in the world. Dennis Johnson. Off it comes to Vinnie Johnson. Ahead it comes to Sally. Overpassed it. He had a layup in his sights. Rodman never expected it and went out of bounds.
Well, and that's the case, which I happen to agree. Rodman didn't expect it. He has to expect the pass. Until the ball's on its way to the hoop, you should always expect the pass on the court if you're on the offensive end.
Adrian Dantley about to check in. Dennis Johnson all alone. Yes. Dennis with 10 points. He was 3 out of 14 last night. He's made 4 hoops already. Boston by 3, 5:40 till halftime. Vinnie Johnson, McHale plays him. Sally against Bird down low. They go to Sally. He can't handle the pass. Out of the pack, Dennis Johnson ahead to Bird. Bird down low. Paxson lays it up good. Paxson has 6 points. Detroit is going to call a timeout here when they get to the front court. They're there, and they do, and there's 5:13 left till halftime. Boston has once again been on a roll. They've opened up a 5-point lead. We'll be back.
With an optional 4-liter monster under its hood, Jeep Comanche doesn't just stand apart. It stands alone.
Save up to $2,050 on selected Jeep vehicles. America's winners.
Got a little bit of fuzz? Turn on a clothes shaver. Got a whole lot of fuzz? Then you need a Clothes Shaver Plus from Windmere. The larger head and rotating blades shave off pills and fuzz for most any fabric. Cord or cordless. Makes it easy for upholstery, even drapes. It saves your clothes and money, too. The Clothes Shaver and the Clothes Shaver Plus from Windmere. Available now at a store near you.
See the score.
Well, you also can see that Kevin McHale is known as the black hole to his teammates in that when the ball goes in there, you never see it again. But here comes the double team quickly out to the open Dennis Johnson, and this time Dennis buries it. So I guess the black hole every once in a while coughs one up.
9 in a row for Boston. Detroit has the ball.
That's a 9-zip run that Boston's on right now. It's the longest run that either team has had thus far.
That knocked away. Boston very active defensively the last 2 or 3 minutes.
10 turnovers for Detroit. They've given up 13 points already off of those turnovers, and they've only gotten 2 off the 5 Boston turnovers. That's been critical.
Isiah checks Dennis Johnson. Bird is double teamed. Dennis free for the jumper now. No. Sally the rebound ahead to Joe Dumars. Dumars against Paxson. Mahorn away from the ball. Let's see what we got. A foul on Sally. Dennis Johnson went to the deck.
Well, Sally gives it up, and he'll go in to try and post up. There he just backs right into Dennis Johnson. Good call on the part of Mike Mathis, the official.
Not much doubt about that one. Bird checked by Mahorn into Parish, who's had a big game. Dennis Johnson passed it up this time to get it back to Parish. He walked.
See, now that time I don't think he did walk. I was watching his feet specifically that time, Skip, and he just made a funny move, but I really thought that it was an illegal move.
I wonder if Jack was screened on the one dribble that he took. That can happen.
Let's watch him again. Now watch him. His pivot foot's his right foot. There he is. The pivot foot's still there. Picks it up, but the ball hit the ground before that foot came down, so that was a legitimate play.
Laimbeer drills it from the corner. His second hoop. 47-44. Boston, despite this big run, leading by only 3. Parish up top. Dennis Johnson down low. McHale is fouled, I think. Let's see. Yes. Mahorn.
Might be Dantley. I think it might have been 45. Nope, you're correct. Only 4 fingers. I didn't know your eyes were that good. You must get prescriptions.
Like a hawk, once out of every 10 calls.
Well, you're supposed to be like a hawk, aren't you?
Not anymore.
Oh.
Don't believe everything you read. Well, never mind. McHale misses the first, tries again. James Edwards and Mahorn out. McHale has 6. 48-44 Boston. Less than 4 minutes remaining till halftime when Craig Sager will bring you up to date on what's happened. Isiah in three-point range, heads for the hole, and a foul on Ainge. And while he looks dismayed, we'll inform you that this program is authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NBA is prohibited. Second foul on Ainge. Boston has only committed 6 by our unofficial count. Joe Dumars, the open man. That won't go. McHale, the rebound.
Well, the Celtics doing a good job of keeping Pistons out on the perimeter, and right now the shot's not dropping for them.
Ainge with it. McHale wheels and deals. The hook won't fall. Dantley the rebound ahead to Dumars. Isiah Thomas 2 on 3. Goes to the hole, and another offensive foul. Another basket is taken away. The left elbow of Isiah Thomas is what the call is all about.
Well, this is what it is, Skip. You called it. Watch the left elbow as Dennis Johnson comes in. There's the left elbow to initiate the contact, and the call by Mike Mathis.
Ainge up top. Off it comes to Larry Bird. McHale out to Ainge. Ainge to the hole. Good look to Parish. Deflected away off his foot, out of bounds. Parish didn't expect the pass. So the ball goes back to Detroit with 2:50. It's 48-44 Boston. Rick Barry, Skip Caray with you from the Boston Garden Eastern Conference Finals Game 2. Detroit won last night. Boston leads in a nip and tuck contest this evening. Dumars recovers it. 10 on the shot clock. Off it comes to Isiah Thomas into the lane. Threw it away, intended for Dumars. Both teams really sloppy here in the last few minutes. Good defense, too.
Reminds me, though, of what happened in the game yesterday when both teams got off to good starts, scoring 30 and 28, I believe it was, or the high score, scoring first quarter, and then they cooled off in the second.
Larry Bird, nope. His problems continue. Here comes Isiah. Dantley against Bird. Isiah got it. It's a 2-point hoop. 10 for Thomas. 48-46. 2 minutes till halftime. Isiah knocked that loose while falling down. Dantley out of there with it. Dantley is checked, and off it comes to Isiah Thomas again. Thomas against Ainge. And down go Ainge and Thomas.
And they're going to call it on Isiah, but I'll tell you, it was Ainge was stopping him from running, and Isiah got a little bit upset. In fact, he got a lot upset on that play because it was a blatant foul when he threw him to the ground, and Danny Ainge banged his elbow pretty good. It was shooting elbow, the right elbow. Now watch, Danny's going to come and give him a little bump there, and then Isiah just grabs him and throws him down very hard to the floor.
Tell you, it started at the other end when Ainge had the ball stolen by Isiah. As Isiah hit the deck, Ainge got an elbow in the mouth inadvertently. He goes off the floor now, does Ainge, and back to the locker room. That could be very costly for Boston.
Well, they're going to get some ice on that right away, I'm sure. But Detroit's turned the ball over 8 times in their last 8 possessions, Skip. It's a miracle that they're still this close.
McHale and a foul on Everett. And now Paxson and Vinnie Johnson about to have a go here. Dick Versace and Ron Rothstein take care of Vinnie Johnson.
Well, Skip, let's face it, there's no love lost between these two ball clubs here. We had a few near altercations in the game last night. And, of course, last year we had a couple of major ones. We'll watch the play again. You watch the left part of your screen. Vinny was bumping Paxson as he tried to make his cut through, and that's where the action started to take place. And then Jack Madden steps in to get Vinnie Johnson out of the way.
Meanwhile, back in the game, McHale makes a free throw.
And Larry Bird just took the ball and threw it right off of Bill Laimbeer. He should get a delay of game warning. They're not even going to give him that, but he just took the ball and threw it off of Bill Laimbeer.
Joe Dumars, front court, 51-46. A minute 20 left. Dantley against Bird. They double Dantley. Vinnie Johnson is open. No. Rebound Parish, knocked loose by Edwards. Big scramble. Jump off.
Excellent hustle by the big man, James Edwards, to keep that ball alive. Now he goes up against DJ.
And you see them laughing together. Maybe that'll calm everybody down here. The atmosphere is not overly pleasant at the Boston Garden. They're not used to being beaten as they were last night.
And they also know the importance of winning this ball game. As you see, next year's Boston Celtic coach, Jimmy Rogers, very intense.
Tip one, as you might expect, by Detroit. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Whoa, Dumars lost it off his foot and out of bounds.
Well, Skip, turnovers have been the secret of the Celtics staying in this ball game. If Detroit did not have as many turnovers, there's no way Boston would be enjoying this 5-point lead.
It's really surprising that Boston only leads by 5 as badly as Detroit's played. Paxson from 19. Got it. He's paying a big dividend tonight. He has 8 points. Dumars against Dennis Johnson. Good Boston defense. Dumars over McHale. High arc. Won't go. Rebound Parish. Length of the floor for McHale. Falling down. He misses. Rebound. Vinnie Johnson could not save it. Boston's ball. 22 seconds left. They lead by 7. Bird triggers it in. Dennis Johnson. They can and will play for the final shot. They have to shoot with about 3 seconds left in the half. Make it 4 seconds left in the half. McHale. Dennis for 3. No. Rebound. Vinnie Johnson knocked down. That's not going to count. I don't think. Jack Madden has called something. Let's see. No, just the half is over. We're at halftime in Boston. Boston by 7. Craig Sager standing by in Atlanta. At the halftime break, our score. Boston 53. Detroit 46.
You gotta stop and taste the high life. Stop and taste the high life. Spend some time just finding out what you're working for, what it's all about.
Miller High Life, brewed to be smooth, never bitter. Takes time to make, time to enjoy.
Stop and taste the high life.
Miller High Life.
Gillette has changed the face of shaving. First, we made it closer. Then we made it smoother. Atra Plus. Its Lubra Smooth Strip actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Incredible smoothness from the first stroke to the last. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
Hi, I'm Craig Sager. Dallas is now home against L.A., and if the home court advantage is worth 5 points, the Mavs are still in a heap of trouble. We'll hear from Roy Tarpley and Byron Scott next on the Prudential Halftime Report.
Jeep designed Cherokee to give you more than any other vehicle of its kind. Like a choice of 2 or 4 doors and room for 5 adults. And now you can get Cherokee with an optional 4-liter 6-cylinder engine that has more power, a lot more power, than anything in its class. All of this is precisely why 4-Wheel and Off-Road Magazine named Jeep Cherokee 4x4 of the Year for the 2nd time.
Save up to $2,050 on selected Jeep vehicles. America's winners.
Paramount Pictures presents The Presidio.
This is my command here. You watch your mouth when you're here. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Academy Award winner Sean Connery, Mark Harmon, The Presidio, rated R. Starts Friday, June 10th.
Ace is the place.
Ace 7-Star, our best latex flat house paint. On sale now for just $10.99 a gallon.
Hey, quality makes a difference, and at Ace, they've got you covered. Hey, let me tell you, Ace is a painting place for me.
The Prudential Halftime Report is brought to you by the Prudential, going above and beyond to meet your needs in insurance and other financial services.
In the second round of the playoffs, all 8 teams won at least one game on the opponent's home court. Dallas had been the most impressive road team, winning 5 of 6 games away from home. But so far in the Western Conference Finals, the Mavs have not been a test for the Lakers in L.A. L.A. has easily won the first 2 games at home. Last night, Wednesday night, Game 2, they shot 62% from the floor. Dallas really was never into the ball game. Even when they had problems moving the ball around the court, somehow it ended up in the right man's hands, and he put it through the hoop, as will happen right here. Magic Johnson from long range. Meanwhile, Byron Scott scored 30 points. 33 of the 48 field goals for L.A. were inside the lane. And here's Scott just driving right past Mark Aguirre for an easy basket. And L.A. runs Dallas off the court, 123 to 101.
They're one of the best fast-breaking teams in the league, so they was really breaking out on us. And you know, I was trying to crash the boards and then trying to get back at the same time. And Byron, he just so quick. And everyone they really just killed us on the break tonight.
Well, we worked hard at it. I mean, we didn't, we came in here on Tuesday and spent an hour watching film, and we had another hour of practice today and walking through. We made 3 or 4 major adjustments in the game based on how we wanted to defend their offense. So you're continuing to work, and as soon as you think that that's over with, then you're in trouble.
Learned our lesson in Game 2 in the Utah series, and you know, we're a veteran team, and you know, once we've taught something one time, we're not going to forget about it the next time. And you know, this was a very important game for us to come out and win.
Game 3 Friday at Dallas. Houston center Hakeem Olajuwon says a lot of changes are needed to make the Rockets contenders for the NBA title. Olajuwon was critical of Sleepy Floyd and Joe Barry Carroll, both of whom he says play for themselves and not for the team. He even made a reference to Rodney McRae by saying we need a small forward who can shoot from the inside and outside. McRae's response? Olajuwon's comments hurt the team because the team is supposed to be like a family. It's really indicative of why we had the season we did. Houston finished 4th in the Midwest Division and lost in the opening round of the playoffs to Dallas. There's also an unhappy camper in Dallas. That story next on the Prudential Halftime Report.
If you can dream it, you can do it. Today, the Prudential can show you a new world of financial opportunities. Look to the Rock. For mutual funds, stocks and bonds. Feel its strength in CDs, insurance and mortgages. With the right choices, the right guidance, the sky's the limit. The Prudential. Your Rock in financial services.
For as long as Mark Aguirre has been playing basketball, he is the one to whom his teammates have looked with a game on the line. But not this year. Roy Johnson is with us tonight with his thoughts on an unhappy Maverick in Dallas.
No matter what happens against the Lakers in Los Angeles, this will be a season to remember for the Dallas Mavericks. They're in the conference finals for the first time in their history, just one round from the championship series. But the most intriguing subplot of their success is that it's been largely accomplished without Mark Aguirre. During his 8 seasons, the high-scoring forward has always been an enigma, either a one-man offense or a brooding child. Aguirre calls it the ugly side of his reputation, the side that can do nothing right and everything wrong. During his first 7 seasons, Aguirre's ugly side was in constant conflict with the Mavericks head coach, Dick Motta. John McLeod in his first season has refused to fill in his predecessor's shoes in that regard. Aguirre's role is diminished this year, especially so in the playoffs. When he isn't playing well, he's on the bench and not on the court. Not long after the player scored 27 points in 1 quarter to lead Dallas over Houston in the opening round, he was steaming on the bench as his teammates played their major roles in the team's triumph over Denver. To his credit, Mark Aguirre has not fueled the fires in public. but he has met with team owner Donald Carter in an attempt to rectify the situation. In my opinion, the only way to stem this long-running soap opera is to trade Mark Aguirre. This should be his playoff swan song with the Mavericks, and that would be the best scenario for both parties. Aguirre can still be a productive player, maybe even an all-star and a team leader, but not in Dallas.
We go above and beyond just like you, above and beyond what we have to do.
I'm a Prudential representative, and I help people review their life insurance needs, because I know how much the right life insurance means to me and my family.
You take pride in your life, so do we. Going above and beyond is our policy. The Rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
The Prudential Halftime Report is brought to you by the Prudential, going above and beyond to meet your needs in insurance and other financial services.
When I played baseball, I could hit the ball halfway to China, so I figured I could do the same thing with a golf ball. No way. But after digging up some turf, there's nothing we like better than cold Miller Lite. It's less filling, and it's got that big taste us hackers appreciate. Where'd that go?
No matter where you play, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Next time I'm going to use a driver.
This is the leading edge of racing technology. The perfection of the new Pennzoil Z7 Special, powered by the Penske Chevrolet engine. And from day one, it has run on the world-class protection of Pennzoil motor oil. There is no other engine in the world like it, and no other oil in the world can protect it like Pennzoil. Pennzoil, world-class protection that exceeds U.S. warranty requirements of every car maker in the world. Now save $3 a case or 20 cents a quart. See mail-in rebate coupon on the back of every bottle.
Another day begins.
Good morning, class. You doing, Penny? What's your ticket? You're late.
There's a lot to be learned.
Hi.
A Milky Way and a friend, good things that never end.
You failing my class. No grades, no football.
Milky Way.
I'll try.
Helping you through your day.
Milky Way's Inside the NBA is brought to you by Milky Way Bar. Milky Way, helping you through your day.
The NBA draft is June 28th. We all know that Danny Manning will be the first pick. Larry Conley has his thoughts on the draft's sleeper.
The Seattle Supersonics select Scott Pippen of Central Arkansas.
This season, Central Arkansas State's Scottie Pippen proved you don't have to play for a top 20 college program to make it in the NBA. You don't even have to play NCAA basketball. The NAIA has become a popular fishing hole for NBA scouts. Detroit's Dennis Rodman was discovered at Southeastern Oklahoma State in 1986, and the year before that, Virginia Union's Charles Oakley became a Chicago Bull. So who is this year's NAIA secret?
Orlando Graham is really not a secret, Larry. For 2 years, he played at West Texas State when that school was in the Missouri Valley Conference. I think he averaged 9 rebounds a game. I think he either led the league in block shots or rebounds. Now, he is from Montgomery, Alabama, and so he transferred back to play for Larry Chapman, who we all know, a wonderful guy who was at Georgia Southern. He was an NAIA All-American for 2 years. I picked him on the street in Smith, small college All-American team. He's about an unknown as Richard Nixon. When you talk about unknowns, I think he has a chance to play in the NBA because he's not afraid to rebound and hit people.
He really plays for the right reasons. He plays because he loves the game.
I love rebounding the ball, going, getting it off the board, and throwing the outlet pass and running the floor in a transition game.
But Orlando's love for the game was late in coming. And without some prodding from his first and toughest coach, his mother, he might never have taken up the game.
When he was very young, he used to like to get up and watch cartoons on Saturday and stay up on the TV all the time, and I used to have to run him out the house.
Ever since the day she kicked me out the house to play sports, I didn't like sports.
You didn't like sports? Why?
It was never, I mean, like I said, my younger brother, my oldest brother was the athletes in my family, and she kicked me out the house. to make me play softball in a little league, and ever since that day, I've been happy since he did that.
Funny, at 6'7" and 240 pounds, Orlando would seem to be a natural for the NBA. But he has his liabilities. Not a good shooter. He will have to rely on his rebounding skills and his athleticism to find a roster spot. But NBA basketball off the court may even be a bigger challenge, where Orlando's mother has had the foresight to prepare him.
Being biased, you know, that was really a hurting thing to me. I did not know him, but when it happened, it was just like one of my children. And I've talked to him about it. I talked to my other boys about it. And even when the clippings come out in the paper, you know, I would take them and tape them on the door so they could see them, you know, because, like I said, it shocked me, it hurt me, and I would not want this to happen to any of my children. If you make it, you gotta have knowledge to keep it. And if you make it, I always tell him, you know, don't forget the bridge that took you over. You can get it today and it can be gone tomorrow.
You have to hand it to NBA super scout Marty Blake saying Orlando Graham no more of an unknown than Richard Nixon. We're not going to the White House right now, but we're going back to a very famous building, the Boston Garden. Rick Barry and Skip Caray.
Okay, Craig, thank you very much. 25-17, that was the margin by which Boston outscored Detroit in the second quarter to take a 53-46 lead in the game.
Well, it was a game of spurts in the first half, and the Celtics were able to come out on top of it. And one of the reasons for it was all of the turnovers on the part of the Pistons. But there were some players who played well for Boston. Dennis Johnson, first of all, who had a bad game in game number 1, was able to come back with a nice first half. Here you see the ball being fed in to Kevin McHale. He draws a double team, kicked back out to DJ. He knocks in this jumper. Also had a three-pointer, wound up with 10 points and 4 assists in the first half. For the Detroit Pistons, Vinnie Johnson really helped them stay close in this ball game. Vinnie had a terrific first half shooting the basketball. Came out and shot 6 for 10, came up with 13 points, and here's one of them that he dropped in, and he actually had a couple other balls that went in the basket and came out. But the competition out there was very intense, and you're going to see Danny Ainge get the worst of it 2 consecutive times following one another. Here, Adrian Dantley has the ball, picking up after Ainge was stripped of it by Isiah. Boom, right in the chin. He gets it with the elbow. Now he goes down, picks up Isiah Thomas. Playing defense on Isiah. He's going to try to bump Isiah when Isiah gives his ball up inside to Adrian Dantley. And as he bumps him, Isiah gets very frustrated, just takes him and throws him down on the floor, and he bruised his right elbow. And in fact, he's wearing a pad on it right now. If you want to talk about why the Celtics are leading here in the first half, it's because of those points off of the turnovers, 20-4 in favor of Boston, which is really amazing. And, of course, the Pistons turning it over 9 of the last 13 times they had it. And you have to remember Robert Parish got off to a great start, 14 points and 5 rebounds. As you look at the statistics here in the first half, the Pistons still shooting 56%, the Celtics staying at 48. But again, the Celtics came up and did a good job with the rebounding, but also, Skip, they established an inside game. They had 14 free throws attempted, made 12 to only 2 for 3 for the Pistons, and that's to be expected because the Pistons have been playing a perimeter game.
Well, 2 ways to look at it. Detroit may feel with all those turnovers that they're very fortunate to be within 7. The other way to look at it is, I think if you told Chuck Daly or any of his players that at halftime Kevin McHale would be 3 out of 9 from the field and Larry Bird would be 2 out of 8, you'd think you'd be well out in front. Either team can still win this game.
Well, I believe that's the case, but I think that the Pistons have to look at themselves to be a little bit more careful with the basketball. Credit the Celtics with some good defense, but a couple of times, I mean, one time you saw Dumars dribble it off his foot out of bounds. The Pistons have been a bit sloppy with the ball. Of course, some of those offensive fouls have cost them as turnovers. You know, one thing about what the Celtics are doing today better than they did last night, Skip, is they're moving the ball a lot better. You know, normally in the NBA, they average 62% of all baskets come from assists, but tonight, the Celtics have an 80% ratio, 16 assists in their 20 hoops, which shows you that they're moving the ball very nicely.
And the third quarter is underway. Joe Dumars heads to the front court. 53-46 the score. Dantley wheels and deals. Got it. That's the way the third quarter begins. Adrian has 10 points.
There we go.
Dennis Johnson.
The guy turned it off.
For Boston. Larry Bird trying to get on track. Not yet. Dumars the rebound. Dantley has the field beat. And the first 4 points of the half belong to Detroit and to Adrian Dantley.
Well, this is where the Celtics have to be careful in last night's ball game. They came out and went 37% from the field in the third quarter, and the Pistons went 61.
53-50 now our score. Danny Ainge down low. Parish lays it up and in. And now Parish and Isiah Thomas have it.
And Isiah was upset because Robert Parish just kind of ran over Isiah, knocked him to the floor, and Isiah had a few words to say to him. And now Mike Mathis is going to talk to Isiah and try and calm him down. Now watch the play again. There he sets the screen. Boom! Just knocked right over. Had good position, no call. And now he goes to try to make the foul and has a few unkind words to say to Robert Parish, but that's no contest there.
Tell you what, I had the game where he challenged Mahorn when Rick was with Detroit. I'll never forget that. Tough break for Laimbeer. Rebound Bird. Isiah might give away a little height and weight, but he's not afraid. Now a foul on Laimbeer.
Well, that's now 17 fouls that have been called against the Pistons to only 7 for Boston, and I know that's not making the Detroit fans very happy.
Dennis Johnson. Larry Bird against Adrian Dantley. Dennis from about 10. Nope. The rebound kicks back out to him, and a foul on Boston. I think on McHale. His second. That's only about the 7th foul of the night for Boston.
That's number 8 right now. That was
8 and 17 for Detroit. 10-12 left third quarter. Boston by 5. Isiah Thomas finger rolls it up and in. He's got 12. 55-52 Boston. Good look to McHale. He missed the little chip shot. Laimbeer blocks the next one, but he had to foul with the body to do it. He blocked the ball cleanly. 4 fouls, Laimbeer.
Chuck Daly, I guess, figures that the better laugh than cry at the fact of the way these fouls are going against him. Here you see McHale miss. Now watch Laimbeer, number 40, goes up for the rebound, doesn't get it. Now he goes up and blocks it, and they call him for a push, and Laimbeer can't believe it, and the signal was a push. Now on the replay, I don't think you can find the push on that replay.
They're going to be very, very strict here for a while, trying to calm everything down, but that was a tough call. Thomas from Mahorn fumbled away a layup, maintained control. Mahorn is pointless in the game. Dantley against Bird, pulls up, misses. Mahorn rebounds, can't control it. Out of bounds, belongs to Detroit.
Well, Danny Ainge actually stripped the ball away, but when he did it, he was actually out of bounds.
9:33 left third quarter. Isiah goes baseline, scoops it up, won't go. Mahorn follows. He's fouled. McHale's third. 9:28 left in the quarter. Mahorn looks for his first point.
Well, I think this is what the Pistons have to do if they expect to win this game, is to get Isiah knifing in there, penetrating, try and get Dantley down there, establish something inside, because you can't get to the free throw line if you're just doing a perimeter game. Plus, when you penetrate, even if you miss, Mahorn could do just what he did there. He has a chance to have an angle or a lane to get to the offensive boards because someone has to go pick up the penetrator.
That's 2 points for Mahorn. A 3-point Boston lead once more. McHale, little jump hook. He has 13, and a foul on McHale as they come up the floor, and that's 4 on him.
And that was a good call, because I really think that Kevin McHale initiated that contact coming up the court against Rick Mahorn. Let's watch the play here. With the pass inside quickly from Larry Bird, a good quick move by McHale to get the 2 points. And then as they started up the court, about midway up there, you see Kevin McHale saying a few words to him. Now he goes up and gives them just a little bit bump and a shove, and that's what the officials call, because they don't want things to get out of hand.
Down low, Mahorn wheels, left-handed hook won't go. Bird the rebound. 59-54 Boston. 8:55 left, third quarter. Rick Barry, Skip Caray with you from the venerable Boston Garden.
Is that another word for old?
Well, yeah. Among other things. Parish misses. Rebound Mahorn. This building has been called a lot of things, and venerable happens to be one of them. Laimbeer drills it. He has 6. But Boston enjoys a 3-point lead with 8:28 left. Danny Ainge up the floor for the Celtics. Bird against Dantley.
He's been doing a fine job on Larry Bird.
Ainge finds Bird in 3-point country. There she goes. No. Rebound though by McHale. Down low, Dennis Johnson. Out to Bird again. Yes. Only his 3rd basket of the night. He has 8 points, but his team leads. Dantley slips, falls, alert play, got it out to Laimbeer. John Sally about to report. Isiah Thomas. Laimbeer jumps over McHale and hits it again. 61-58, 7:40 left in the quarter. McHale finds an open Dennis Johnson. Nothing but net.
Well, DJ shot 21% last night, and he's shooting 50% in this ball game.
Isiah Thomas up the floor. Game 3 will be Saturday in Pontiac. Laimbeer misses, but Dantley gets one of the few offensive rebounds for Detroit. Joe Dumars short. Rebound Ainge.
All perimeter again for the Pistons.
Up the floor comes Dennis Johnson. High post, Robert Parish knocked away from him. Mahorn comes out of there with it. His pass lost out of bounds. Who's going to get it? The Celtics. The Celtics call timeout here. 6:52 left in the third quarter. Boston leads it by 5, and Detroit's turnover problems continue to plague them.
Help us pick the winner of the NBA TBS Hall of Fans contest. Vote for Video A, Video B, or Video C by calling that fan's 900 number.
Do you know who the best fan of the game is? Me, Laz Blackman. You know how I keep up with the game? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? That's right. TBS, TBS, TBS. Hey, what's up? Oh, money, money, why you want to do that to me? Why you change the channel? That's cold.
Having just a few seconds to tell you why I'm the greatest fan of the NBA is as exciting as shooting that three-pointer at the buzzer to win the game. The NBA is fantastic.
My name is Mitch. I have the stitch to bring you a pit.
The fan with the most votes in this final round is the first ever Fan of the Year.
Portions of tonight's NBA playoff game are brought to you by Honda, who invites you to experience the all-new Accord Coupe at your local Honda dealer. And by Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
There's your score, 63-58. We have 6:52 left in the third quarter. More playoff action tomorrow night. Los Angeles at Dallas, 8:05 Eastern Time. Bob Neal and Steve Jones will have the play-by-play story for you. You heard Roy Johnson at halftime talking about Mark Aguirre might be out of there. Boy, we've heard that rumor for 4 or 5 years in Dallas. Nothing has happened yet.
Well, I think that people may have thought that perhaps it was Dick Motta who was the problem and not Mark Aguirre. And now that problems are surfacing again with John McLeod, I think that most people are realizing that maybe it wasn't just Dick Motta. And if he is a disruptive force with that ball club, certainly someone else might feel that he could help bring them a championship, or at least a better opportunity for one, and they could probably get someone very worthwhile. They certainly have a lot of talent on that ball club, but they also have not been able to put things together. They need to raise their level of intensity somewhat. They're really letting the Lakers play exactly the way the Lakers want to play, and when that happens, you're not going to beat them.
Dennis Johnson with the ball as we go back to work here. 18 on the shot clock. Bird rolls it beautifully to Parish. Blocked away by Laimbeer. His 5th foul.
The difference right now, I think, in this ball game is two things, Skip. The inside game of the Celtics has been overpowering against the Piston ball club, giving them a lot of free throw opportunities, and the inability of the Pistons to be able to handle the basketball. They have just turned it over far too many times, allowing the Boston Celtics to get too many points off of those turnovers.
Laimbeer goes out. James Edwards is back in. Parish, 18 points, 5 rebounds in the game. 65-58. Again, a 7-point lead for Boston. 6.5 minutes left, third quarter. Sally against Bird. Finally get it to Thomas. 9 on the shot clock. He goes to the hole. Great shot. Isiah has 14. Bird attacks quickly at the other end. Inside, Lewis can't buy it. Dantley the rebound. Isiah up the floor.
That's one of those ill-advised quick shots. There was no white jerseys underneath the basket for an offensive rebound.
Dantley goes baseline, drills it, and a foul on Lewis. 14 for Dantley.
Just when it looks like the Celtics may be able to put a little distance between themselves and the Pistons crawl and battle and fight right back in it, as you see some concerned coaches there. There you see Adrian Dantley. He's done this to a lot of people. Lewis tries to go for the block, catches him on the right arm, and Adrian Dantley with a chance for the three-point play.
And for his 15th point of the night. And he's got all of that. 65-63. We've reached the halfway point in the third quarter. Boston by 2 and with the ball. Bird on the run. Got it. Larry with 10 points.
Let him go to his left, and he is murdered.
Bird now 4 of 12 from the field. Thomas against Ainge. Dantley fades, fires, drills another one. He's got 17. 9 in the quarter.
And don't think that Adrian Dantley doesn't realize that he's not a rookie on him either.
Lewis handles the ball. You know, you hear people sometimes still say there's no defense in the NBA. Partially blocked there by Sally. Watch the rookies who come in and get burned on defense.
Celtic fans wanted a traveling call against Thomas. They may have had a good reason to be upset.
Isiah dishes it off. Edwards, little jump shot, good. Edwards has his first point. We're tied at 67.
Well, Chuck Daly just said he wants to keep the game close, and now Casey Jones has to talk things over with the Celtics.
Boy, and you look at that Detroit bench, everybody was on their feet long before that timeout was called. 4:49 remaining in the third quarter. The game is tied at 67, and Boston will have the ball when play resumes.
There we see Isiah Thomas kicking the ball into Adrian Dantley, and he takes advantage of Lewis, makes the fake inside, gets him a step off, a little fade away. No chance for Lewis to get out there. AD with 2 more. With 4:49 to go in the third, we're tied. Bird, if you're wondering what's happened to Larry Bird in this ball game, we had a off fourth quarter last night. Only 2 points. He's 4 for 12 thus far this game.
Fred Roberts checks into the Boston scheme of things. And he's going to try to cool down Dantley.
Well, Lewis hurt them that time when he was in the ball game. He was burned defensively and made a couple of bad offensive plays. So now Roberts gets the chance.
Dennis Johnson against Joe Dumars up top.
That fourth foul that McHale picked up is proving to be costly to the Celtics.
Bird has a pass knocked away. He gets it back, blocked by Sally. Low to Roberts, lays it up, good. So Boston reclaims the lead, 69-61. Edwards holds it up top. Isiah Thomas, 11 on the timer, and a whistle and a foul on Roberts prior to any shot by Dantley. It's bonus time for Detroit, and they've got the guy at the line they like to have there, Adrian Dantley.
Well, they'll already have shot more free throws here in this quarter than they did in the entire first half.
This will be their 4th of the quarter. Dantley seeks his 18th point. He'll try again.
Adrian Dantley, the most experienced of all the Pistons, as you see there by that graphic. It's now his third free throw attempt of the ball game. Normally an excellent free throw shooter.
He missed them both.
Must be something about the third quarter for free throws for Detroit. They were 1 for 7 last night, and that's in this quarter.
Bird against Sally up top. Parish, what a pick he said. He really rattled him. Parish comes away with the ball, hammers it low to Roberts. He dunks it home. So Roberts has 2 quick hoops. 3:50 left. 71-67. Timeout Detroit. Boston has thrown back the first Detroit push of the second half. 3:49 left, third quarter. The Celtics lead the Pistons by 4.
Us rap musicians like to think the best light beer is the one we drink. And every rapping cat I know drinks Miller Lite. Ain't that so? Taste great. Let's fill it. Taste great. Let's fill it. Lights got body. Lights got soul. Don't stop me now. I'm on a roll. Get it right. There's only one light beer for Miller Lite.
The new Honda Accord Coupe. It could get by on looks alone.
First, Gillette made shaving closer. Then we made it smoother. With Atra Plus, its Luber Smooth Strip glides the razor over your face for Gillette's smoothest shave. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
Ace is the place.
Ace 7-Star, our best latex flat wall paint, on sale now for just $9.97 a gallon. Hey, quality makes a difference, and at Ace, they've got you covered. Hey, let me tell you, Ace is a painting place for me.
We're going to take a look at the last Boston basket, but watch Fred Roberts, the left part of the screen. He's going to eventually wind up with the shot on this play as Bird gets a screen from Robert Parish, 0-0. Now look at the screen he sets on Sally. He didn't know it was coming, gets hit pretty good. Parish pushes off. Edwards comes to help. Good rotation defensively, knocked away by the part of the Pistons, Isiah Thomas. Parish goes up for the shot, draws 3 people, and Roberts sneaks back in for the dunk. Good pass by Robert Parish.
And play about to resume. Jim Paxson back in the game. Danny Ainge goes up. Vinnie Johnson is checked in for Detroit. Vinnie led him in the first half with 13. Dantley handles the ball against Roberts. Down low it comes to Isiah. He stops. He loses it. It's on the deck. Bird has it. And a foul on Thomas. That's 4 on him.
Excellent defense on the part of the Celtics that time.
So Dumars will have to come right back in, and Isiah will go on. Let's see if Boston runs something for Dennis Johnson here to try to get a 5th foul on. Bird spins it low to Paxson. That one won't go. Sally the rebound.
Sally also got a piece of that one.
Vinnie Johnson up the floor. We're down to 3:08 left in the third quarter. You see the score. Vinnie Johnson.
Vinnie wanted the foul because Paxson actually gave him a little push on the hip that time, and Vinnie's asking for it. But we'll keep an eye on that one because Paxson and Vinnie had a little bit of a scuffle earlier in the ball game.
71-69 the score. Bird against Dantley. Stops, pops, scoring, and a foul. Dantley argues he's on the deck.
There's AD, who's been doing a good job on Larry Bird tonight. He tries to deny him the ball. Bird finally gets it. Now he's got his hand on him down low. That's where they're going to call the foul. And they call the foul for him for pushing against Larry Bird.
Bird converts the three-point play.
Well, I'll tell you, that same play down the other end of the court, Paxson had his hand on Vinnie Johnson the same way, and no foul.
Dumars on the way. Dantley against Roberts. Vinnie Johnson, 18-footer, rattles around. Sally rebounds. That won't go. Next rebound, recovered by Fred Roberts. Parish alone at the other end. Tell you what, Fred Roberts has been a big help here for Boston. He's shut down Dantley. He's got a couple of baskets ever since he came in. They're cooking, and they lead by 7 with 2:08 remaining in the third quarter, and the Celtic faithful are on their feet. We'll be back right after this.
The United States Treasury has been kind enough to print zillions of these handy reminders to help you remember the name of the rent-a-car company that offers everyday low rates and unlimited mileage on every car they rent. And that includes Cadillacs. Discover the value of a $1 rent-a-car at all major airports and hundreds of locations nationwide.
You know, there are a lot of places where you can look for an auto part. But here's where you'll find it. Napa has parts for imports and other hard-to-find parts. So come to Napa first. We've got your part.
Your neighborhood Napa Auto Parts store has more than 125,000 parts for the typical American car. Whatever that is.
Heil's Air Conditioning and Heat Pump Systems. So dependable, we offer 5 years protection on every one. Heil, born to run. Check your yellow pages or phone toll-free for the Heil dealer nearest you.
Hey, y'all, here are tonight's Honda leaders, brought to you by Honda, makers of CRX, Civic, Accord, and Prelude. Test drive one at your local Honda dealer today. Of course, they're all closed by now, so do it tomorrow.
Well, Pat Riley still leading with that fantastic percentage of 72%, followed by K.C. Jones and Chuck Daly, 2 participants in tonight's contest.
It's 76-69, 2:08 left, third quarter. Boy, Robert Parish has come up big in this game. Dantley gets it in to Dumars.
Well, actually, that discrepancy is not as big as you're normally accustomed to seeing. Kevin McHale is not having a big night tonight, one of his rare off games against the Pistons.
And a foul.
Excellent play by James Edwards, and a nice setup by the Pistons to get the ball into James Edwards, who drew the foul against Fred Roberts.
Off the bench, excuse me, Rick, off the bench, I think it's significant. Boston leads 26-14, but that's not as big as they normally do. Edwards converts the three-point play, has 5. 1:55 left, 76-72. A big fourth quarter, a building here in Boston. Bird down low, Parish. That won't go. He almost got his head taken off by Sally. Fred Roberts again.
Well, the Boston bench, Paxson and Roberts doing a nice job of contributing tonight for Boston. Last night, only 4 off the bench, all in the first half.
Vinnie Johnson up top, 1:20. Paxson plays him. It's knocked loose by Paxson. Foul Paxson.
Now, I'll tell you, now that time, I really looked as though Vinnie dipped the shoulder into Paxson that time. So that may have made up for the one down the other end, although Vinnie made the jumper that was taken away in the first half. Now, just keep an eye on Vinnie as Paxson plays good defense. Nice position. Backs into him now. Boom, right there with the offensive foul.
Vinnie makes the first free throw. Rodman gets Dantley. He's gotten very little accomplished tonight. Played only 5 minutes in the first half. 17 for Vinnie Johnson.
Still, it's a 4-point game with all this cheering by the fans, and Pistons not looking all that smooth offensively, and they still down 4.
Roberts thinks about it. Now wishes he'd have done it. Sally to Dumars against Dennis Johnson. 2-shot foul. Only the second on Dennis Johnson, and a good play by him. He made sure he could prevent the hoop. It comes with 59 seconds left in the third quarter.
Isiah Thomas with 4 personal fouls on the bench. Bill Laimbeer also in some difficulty, has some, I guess, I don't know if that's heat or ice on his shoulder. I would think that it would be heat to keep it warm. Probably some hot packs. Looks like a hot pack wrapped in the towel.
Dumars seeks his 6th point. As you see. Well, 78-75.
3 missed free throws here in the late stages for the Pistons. Otherwise, we're tied.
Bird against Rodman. Dennis Johnson fakes. The Chief to Roberts. He'll shoot 2. Sally got him. 3 on Sally.
You know, Fred Roberts during the regular season at times when he's had to fill in for Larry Bird has come up with some pretty good games offensively, so he's certainly capable of scoring points. Did a nice job again here this evening.
He has 6 all in this quarter.
We just heard the report that it's actually ice on Laimbeer's shoulder, which seems a bit strange. Hard to keep it warm with ice on there. Of course, you don't keep it numb so you can't feel it, I guess.
I'll be using a little of that myself before much longer. Roberts has his 7th point, but not on my shoulder. 38 seconds remaining.
Some type of a container?
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. Joe Dumars up top. Off it comes to Vinnie Johnson. Roberts winds up on the deck. Edwards banks it up. Good. Score it and a foul.
Now the fans are crying for an offensive foul, but I guarantee you Jim Paxson fouled the heck out of Edwards before that play even occurred. The officials just let it all go because I was able to watch it from its inception. We'll watch the play by Vinnie Johnson. This is not going to show you what's been taking place all the time in here. Finally, you just see him on the ground, and then Roberts comes over to help out, bumps the continuation rule in effect, and back to live action, a 3-point play for Edwards and the Pistons.
Edwards has 8 all in the quarter. Boston by 1. They play for the final shot, and they have all the time remaining that you see there to get a shot away. The fourth quarter in this is going to be like Iwo Jima. Dennis Johnson, nice shot. He has 14. Sally can't get the ball inbounds. Dumars with it. Edwards leaps high to control it, and they never got anything near a shot. The third quarter is over. Batten down the hatches, boy. We got 12 more minutes that should be really physical basketball. Boston 81, Detroit 78. We'll be back.
I'm here having a couple of Miller Lights with the world's funniest tennis coach, Jan Tiriak. This guy's a million laughs. Hey, remember the one you told me about the chicken and the tennis ball? That just cracked me up. Here, have another Miller Light. Yeah, light tastes great and it's less filling. And you don't want to get filled up when you're having as good a time as we are. Right, Jan?
For serious beer drinkers, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Oh, stop it, man. You're killing me.
Faithfully, Honda has been #1 in customer satisfaction, #1 in import owner loyalty, #1 for the money. Introducing new Faithful, the new Honda Civic hatchback, one of the lowest priced wonders in America. You can count on it.
The meek may inherit the earth, but they won't get the ball.
The Air Alpha Force from Nike.
Well, 12 minutes left for Boston to hang in there and try and tie this series up, Skip. As we take a look at the bench production here in game number 1, you see how dismal Boston's statistics were. But here in game number 2, it's a different story as they've come up with 17 points off the bench, a few more rebounds. But really, what helped the Pistons, I think, in that third quarter, even though a lot of cheering going on by the fans here, they outscored Boston by 4 points to cut it to a 3-point deficit, but they only had 2 turnovers in that quarter. They had 17 in the first half. That made a big difference, but Boston dominating on the offensive board, 16-7, and that's really helped them maintain that slight lead.
Detroit went to the line 11 times in the third quarter, went there only 3 times in the first half. It went off McHale and out of bounds. So Detroit has a chance to move to within a point. Joe Dumars, Vinnie Johnson, John Sally, Dennis Rodman, James Edwards against Ainge, Paxson, Fred Roberts, Kevin McHale, Robert Parish. It's Edwards over Parish.
Well, if there has to be one surprise in this series so far for the Pistons, it would have to be the play of James Edwards, although Chuck Daly did feel that he was going to need to use him more in this series against the big front line of Boston.
Boston people tell us that Edwards has always had good luck against Robert Parish. They battled for the rebound. I think Edwards had no luck at all there. He's called for the foul over Roberts' back.
Well, Larry Bird getting a lot of rest, and I'm sure the fans here are hoping that he's going to come in and give one of his patented fourth quarter performances. You all can remember last Sunday's ball game when he was absolutely spectacular along with Dominique Wilkins. What a great game that was.
McHale against Sally. Paxson breaks away. The layup won't go, and the rebound by Dennis Rodman.
Well, Jim was worried about somebody coming over and didn't concentrate on shooting the ball and rushed himself. Very surprising for the veteran.
Detroit can take the lead here. Vinnie Johnson against Paxson. Prior to the shot, a whistle. Illegal defense, Boston. First one of those we've had tonight.
Which means we'll probably see a few more. There's Danny Ainge, who had dropped back into the paint area illegally.
You saw Casey Jones looking on. He has to really be concerned here. His team has the lead, but they can't shake this Detroit club. Edwards hands it off to Dumars. Vinnie Johnson makes this one. Detroit by 1, 19 for Vinnie. Bump on Sally, trying to check McHale. I'll tell you what, officiating this game is absolutely impossible. There is so much physical contact.
Well, you'll watch the physical contact inside. There's Sally giving the little bump and the little push to Kevin McHale. There's another little push and shove, and there's where the foul was called.
Roberts, no whistle. Rodman and Edwards are on the deck. Roberts gets the hoop. He has 9, all in the second half. We're on a seesaw. Boston by 1. 10-10 left in regulation. Vinnie Johnson has been hot. Nothing different.
Now just remember, the Pistons have Isiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, and Adrian Dantley on the bench resting now. And the Celtics have Larry Bird and Dennis Johnson resting.
Parish up top. Jim Paxson with the ball. Lob it low. McHale under the hoop. Blocked away by Edwards on the deck. Big scramble. Edwards out of the pack with the ball. Vinnie Johnson has it now. Vinnie to the front court against Ainge. Rodman. Oh, what a pass. Sally from Rodman.
Edwards again coming up with a big defensive play. Had a big block in the ball game last night as well. Great effort by the bench of Chuck Daly right here.
We're a long way from being through here, but an Eastern Conference dynasty may be just starting to crumble. 86-83 Detroit, an eternity left. We'll be back.
Everybody knows the Honda Civic has always been a practical car, but would you know one if you saw one? That was then. This is now. Honda introduces the new Civic. It has more doors, more comfort, and more advanced engineering. Then, now.
Days going by too fast to hold them. I say that I care, it's time that I showed him. Hold this moment, make it last before the present becomes the past. Make time stand still.
In a world where time waits for no one, you can stop it and hold it with the Polaroid Spectra system.
Make time stand still.
Out of 5. Out of 2. Here's Jackson. Yes, it is all over. They battled into overtime. Barkley for 3. Oh, no!
Cross court from Kowski. He goes up the top of the key to Sando. He gets it inside the Neely. Hooks it up. He got it! He gets it! The ball game's over!
NBA action. It's fantastic.
Tonight's Polaroid Picture Perfect Play is brought to you by Polaroid Spectra System, the only camera that makes time stand still.
If you had your Polaroid Spectra System camera ready here, you get a classic picture as Dennis Rodman goes for the steal as this ball comes towards the announcing table, and you're going to see Skip Caray move probably as fast as you may have ever seen him move in your life. There he is, holding Dennis Rodman up with a little help from his friend.
Fear will make you do amazing things.
And during this timeout, this Boston crowd had some fans start to twirl some Boston Celtic towels, and the crowd is trying to urge on this great team to rise to the occasion and tie this series. They are a bit nervous.
Larry Bird has returned. Detroit has outscored him 8-2 here in the first 2.5 minutes of the final quarter. It's anybody's game, and remember how many times Boston has been here. Not in this building, but in these kind of spots. Bird against Sally. Left hand, no. Deflected. Rodman with a rebound.
And you could just hear the crowd hush. They are concerned.
The air went out of the balloon, at least for a moment. Joe Dumars, front court. 9 minutes left in the game. Vinnie Johnson has been sensational. Not this time. It's on the deck, and out of there is Bird.
Vinnie was out of control that time. That's a bad shot for him.
He's 9 out of 14 on the night. Dennis Johnson on the left wing against Dumars. Parish against Edwards. Spins in on it. Has to jump over him. Great shot. Edwards did everything you could do. 22 for Parish. It's a 1-point game. 8:25 left. Buckle your seatbelts, folks. Vinnie Johnson has missed 2 in a row. It goes out of bounds. Boston's ball. The Celtics can reclaim the lead.
There's the star of last night's ball game, Isiah Thomas, still getting rest on the bench. He has 4 personal fouls.
Dennis Johnson looks to McHale. Now gets him the ball against Edwards. Dennis alone. No. But there's Bird. Dennis Johnson. No. McHale. Yes.
The offensive board still hurting the Pistons.
They had 4 shots and finally made one. 87-86 Boston. They've got the crowd back in it now. 7:37 left in regulation. Offensive foul, Detroit. James Edwards.
I tell you, there's so much contact going out of here. The officials can blow their whistle every time down the court. You're going to watch Edwards underneath the basket. There's Dennis Johnson pushing off, and now Edwards sets that screen. They call that on Edwards, and DJ just got done knocking somebody else out of the way for the Pistons.
Back live, it's Bird. Fading, firing, missing. Rebound, Vinnie Johnson again. Adrian Dantley, Isiah Thomas about to report for Detroit with 7 minutes left in regulation. Boston by 1. Detroit with the ball. Ainge did a great job denying Dumars the ball. Edwards, yes. He shot it on the way down, but he made it. He's got 12 all in this half.
He's doing a spectacular job. They may as well keep looking to him. He's having terrific success, and they're establishing an inside game with him.
Parish up high against Sally, who slaps at it, can't get it. Ainge, the open jumper, no. Rebound, Dennis Rodman.
You know, Danny Ainge, that time before he shot the ball, I watched him. He was looking at things and then all of a sudden turned to shoot. Really never focused in on the basket first before he started the shot.
He has not scored since the first quarter. Rodman sets a pick. Dumars, Rodman. Yes. The old pick and roll. Rodman's first point. 90-87. 6:05 remaining. Dennis Johnson's line drive jump won't go. McHale's tip won't go. Vinnie Johnson with the ball. He's got Rodman on the wing. He wisely slows it down and they start all over again. They can go up by 5.
And Vinny's been known to take shots in those circumstances before. That was a good smart play.
Edwards drew the foul, missed the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
And obviously Chuck Daly started calling some more plays for Edwards, realizing he's having great success against Robert Parish.
Vinnie Johnson gets a rest.
Boston has gone ice cold again, just like they did last night in the fourth quarter. They're 3 for 12 here in this period. Detroit 6 out of 10.
Dennis Rodman out of the game as well. Ainge and K.C. Jones talk it over, as you see. And Edwards to the foul line. He has 12 points, 3 rebounds. All 13 points in the second half.
Well, there's some who might say that the bird has flown south into this game.
There's a long way to go, but this is 2 off nights in a row, at least to this point, for Larry.
Well, there's still a lot of time left, though.
5:35. It's 92-87. Bird threw it away. May have been deflected. Dumars out of there with it.
It was Sally, I believe, I came over and jumped in the way and got a hand on it.
So now Detroit can go up by 7. We are down to 5:18 left. Dumars, no. Rebound, Parish. Here comes Danny Ainge. Boston could use a hoop. 5:05 left. McHale drops it beautifully to Parish. They needed that. Parish has 24. That's 8 Boston points in the quarter. They've been outscored 14-8 in the period. It's 92-89 Detroit. Dantley against Bird. Adrian fades away. Isiah Thomas. Dumars posts up. They can't get him the ball. He looks to Edwards. He's been the man. Not this time. Sally missed the slam. Rebound Sally. Hit as he goes. He'll shoot 2. Sally missed the slam. That's a difference in him. A year ago he would have sulked and been upset about that. Instead he got the ball back, made the good fake. 5 fouls on McHale.
Well, he may have pushed McHale and gotten away with on that one.
Sally shoots 2. We have 4:31 left. Rick Barry, Skip Caray, Game 2, Eastern Conference Finals, Boston Garden. That's 10 points for John Sally, and he knocked it right in there. He has 9 rebounds and a couple of steals as well.
You know, it's so funny to see the field goal shooting percentage. I watched Sally start the free throw. He puts the ball, his hand out, put the ball on top of it perfectly, turned it over like he had perfect shooting position, then moved his right hand to the right side. All for naught.
And knocked them both in there. 94-89 with 4:25. Bird, they go low to McHale. He's fouled by Edwards, I think. It's 4 fouls on Edwards. So 4 on Edwards. Bill Laimbeer has 5 fouls. Whether he'll be able to come back or not, we do not know. He's been out so long. Well, he has that sore shoulder.
If Edwards keeps playing the way he's playing, I don't think there's any reason to bring him back in.
McHale seeks and gets his 17th point. Boston is not out of this thing yet. 94-91. Isiah to the front court, calls timeout. We have a timeout on the floor. You see the time remaining. It's 94-91 Detroit, and they have put the clamps on Boston, Rick, in this fourth quarter, or Boston has put the clamps on themselves. They're not getting much done.
Well, I think what happens when McHale went to the bench, it hurt them a little bit with the lineup they had, and that little quicker lineup that Chuck Daly had brought in for the Pistons seemed to be taking advantage of the smaller Boston lineup. But again, Boston, not that they've been as impatient this time offensively, they just have not been able to get the ball to drop in the basket for them, shooting a very poor percentage. And you have to credit the Detroit defense. The intensity level of this Piston team defensively has been outstanding.
The Detroit players, not a single starter has scored in this fourth quarter, yet they've outscored Boston. We hope we'll have a game as exciting as this one for you tomorrow night from the Reunion Arena. Bob Neal, Steve Jones at 8:05 Eastern Time. The Lakers and Dallas. Dallas leads that series. Rather, Los Angeles leads that series 2-0.
Well,
if necessary, Game 5 Wednesday night from right here, Detroit and Boston.
Well, we talked about the bench so much in both of these ball games, and the fact that Boston has come through with 15 more points tonight off of their bench with a total of 19. But the Pistons have also responded admirably. Their bench last night had 33 points. Tonight, they have 48 points off the bench. And they refer to this team as, you see that statistic, not losing back-to-back games since '83. This Detroit Piston ball club, I think, deserves a great deal of credit for being able to come back after a win last night, figuring that, hey, you know, we got this one, we can go back home, and they have not dropped that intensity level down. It would have been easy for them to have a bit of a letdown, but the Celtics also responded admirably to a crucial game, and they're still right in the thick of this one. But with 4:13 to go, trailing by 3, it's going to be critical that either Larry Bird or Kevin McHale does something offensively for the Boston Celtics. They are the two key players, and they have been really shut down quite effectively here in the second half.
Adrian Dantley will inbound. Team foul. Laimbeer is back in the game with Edwards. Isiah. They go to Edwards against Parish. He stops, pops, drew the foul as he missed. He'll shoot 2. Parish got it.
Well, I'll tell you, people were talking about the trade that Jack McCloskey made to get Edwards and felt it was not a great deal for them. The way he's played last night and what he's doing here in this ball game, if they should hold on and win, it was worth the trade to have this happen.
It was worth it just last night alone, really. Edwards has 15. All of them in the second half. And he knocks back another one. He's 6 out of 6 at the foul line. You see the time, you see the story. There's plenty of time, but Boston's got to get going. They go. Dennis Johnson won't do it. He's going to have to. He drills it.
Well, that's what the Pistons want. They were going to force them to have to hit that outside perimeter shot. That time for the Celtics, DJ came through.
Dumars. Oh, what a pick by Edwards. Dumars drives under the hoop. Finds Isiah in three-point country. 6 on the shot clock. Isiah has it knocked loose. Gets it back. Edwards with 1 second misses. Rebound Boston. Larry Bird. Dennis Johnson up the floor. They can close to within 1. They go to Parish. He fumbles. He gets it back and he's fouled. If it's Laimbeer, he's gone. Checker, that's 5 on him.
Well, a good push here on the part. Not a good push, but it was a push. There you see right from behind as he shoved Robert Parish. And he knew it was a bad foul because Robert was already almost 15 feet from the basket.
Back live. Boston again with a chance to close to within 1. Danny Ainge hasn't scored since the first quarter. Larry Bird had it. Ainge gets it back. Isiah and Bird on the deck. Dennis Johnson on a drive to McHale. No good. Next rebound on the deck. Dantley is fouled as he unloads it to Joe Dumars.
Well, now both teams with 4 team fouls. So from this point forward, both teams will be in the penalty. So that's not a factor with 2:49 left.
Boy, the Boston team is crashing the boards like kamikaze pilots. They have every time down, it seems, 3 or 4 whacks there. Here comes Joe Dumars. Sally checks back in. Isiah has been quiet. Dantley shoots his jumper. No. Knocked out by Edwards. He had to foul to do it, I think.
They'll send Bird to the free throw line, not the man you want shooting free throws.
It is Edwards.
But see, as a coach, you can't be upset with a player trying to be aggressive and pull down an offensive rebound for you. Those are the type of fouls that coaches don't really get extra gray hairs over.
Bird, 3 out of 3 at the foul line tonight, was 3 out of 5 last night. If he makes this one, it's a 1-point game with 2:32 left. He does, and it is. Detroit, very deliberate now. Dantley against Bird. Dumars, Isiah.
Isaiah's been very quiet since his return.
For 3. Nowhere near. Out of bounds. The ball goes to Boston. Well, we saw Bird shoot an air ball like that, and now Isiah Thomas, 2 of the best. Boston can take the lead. 96-95. Detroit has missed its last 5 shots. Boston its last 4. Bird. He didn't miss that. Detroit is going to call a timeout here. This place is up for grabs. 1:50 left. Detroit will have the ball when we return.
It's time for the Gatorade Slam Dunk.
And Portland gets it back. An emphatic gesture by Drexler.
Another Gatorade Slam Dunk.
Great teams aren't born. They're built player by player. Introducing new Citrus Cooler Gatorade. It speeds in fluids and minerals. Supplies energy to working muscles. With a cool citrus taste all its own. If you're going to be part of this lineup, lemon lime, orange, fruit punch, lemonade, citrus cooler, you'd better bring something to the party. New Citrus Cooler Gatorade.
First, Gillette made shaving closer. Then we made it smoother. With Atra Plus, its Luber Smooth Strip glides the razor over your face for Gillette's smoothest shave. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
Now the final chapter, students, in Bosworth's book of etiquette. Personal hygiene. How will you separate yourselves from those barbaric hordes that exude a most malodorous air? New Ride Guard Sports Stick from Gillette. Maximum protection and a fresh new scent. A veritable olfactory medley. New Ride Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Raise your glasses, gentlemen, to civilization.
Oh, how quickly things change in the NBA. Look at the reaction of the coaching staff of the Detroit Pistons. As Larry Bird knocks it in, the reaction of the bench for the Boston Celtics. But Chuck Daly may be going to think about his move to bring his starters back in. They have yet to score in this quarter. The reserves are doing a great job, had a nice lead, and he wanted to go with the guys who got him here, and he brought him back in. And so far, they haven't gotten the job done for him as they now lost the lead and trail by 1.
13 on the shot clock. Isiah hangs in the air, banks it off the glass. His first points of the quarter. Detroit by 1. If there's such a thing as a 6th man, boy, you got to give these Celtic fans credit. They make some noise. Parish up top. Dennis Johnson against Dumars. Kevin McHale. Johnson again. Down low. Parish blocked by Sally, but he had to foul to do it.
Well, the problem happened that time because Sally allowed Parish to beat him from the weak side of the floor to the strong side as he picks up his 5th personal foul. Robert Parish got popped in the head. Here you see the pass coming. Well, no, actually, Sally got screened off, and that's why Parish was able to go there. They had the screen. They didn't switch on the little screen on the weak side. Sally did a good job, actually, to get back over there to prevent Parish from getting the easy layup.
Parish now with 25 points, 7 rebounds. Boston by 1. Detroit wants and gets another timeout. They squandered 6 seconds on the shot clock. Now we have 1:13 remaining. Boston on top by 1. Well, we'll put you in Chuck Daly's shoes. Rick, what do you tell your team now, and what do you try to accomplish when you come back up?
Well, there's still so much time to go in this ball game. There'll be a number of possessions left. You're trailing by 1. I would think that they want to try and get a good shot here and have the ball in the hands of Isiah Thomas, the guy who does so much for them. They came up with that last big shot because not only can he create things for himself, he creates things for his teammates. And this is the guy I think that he would like to see, you know, having the ball. An option may very well be to look inside to James Edwards, who's had a terrific game offensively if he's in the ball game playing at this particular time, if he doesn't take him out. But Isiah, I think, would be the man to do it. Then, of course, to tell him to go down the other end, continue to do the good defense, shut that inside game out, make them have to have somebody like Dennis Johnson make an outside jump shot. Don't give up the inside game on the next possession down there defensively.
Isn't it interesting that there have been absolutely no fast breaks in the last 5 or 6 minutes of this game?
Well, when you get a close ball game and it means so much to both ball clubs, people tend to get a bit conservative, and you stop playing the style of game that had gotten you the lead. The Pistons were able to get some good opportunities when the reserves were in the ball game. They were a pretty loose group, but then as the game got tighter with the starters in and the main players, they're going to what their strengths are. And unfortunately for the Pistons, their strength is not the inside game, and it is for the Boston Celtics. And more times than not, the inside game will win for you.
Team fouls. Both teams are in the bonus. There's a guy who's given Boston a big lift tonight, Robert Parish. 26 points, 7 rebounds. But it's still up for grabs here.
Another guy you might look for, of course, with Isiah maybe creating, is to try and dish it off to Adrian Dantley, who has such a great ability to draw some fouls. However, he does not do anywhere near as much posting up with this big Boston team. He's been doing more of a perimeter game and fadeaway jumpers, as Bill Laimbeer also comes back in because he gives you the option of kicking it to him outside for the jumper. But pretty tough to be sitting this much and come in and have to hit an important shot.
I'm only guessing, but I'll bet Rick Mahorn's disc in his back has bothered him again. We've seen nothing of him in this, or next to nothing of him in this second half. Sally has played well. He's in there for him. Dantley has trouble getting it in. Calls timeout again. He could not get the ball inbound. They call the 20-second timeout with 1:13 remaining. Good job defensively by the Boston team.
Well, now Detroit only has 1 full timeout, and heads up play by Dantley to call the 22nd timeout. Boston still with 2 full timeout, and that could be very important. Here you see Larry Bird doing a good job in front of Adrian Dantley, but his teammates did an excellent job to be able to prevent an open person. Dantley looked over to the official just as John Sally was breaking free.
And you can see Bird the first 2 times wouldn't jump. He wouldn't go with the little fake.
Well, he was counting in his head, I'm sure. 1,000, 1, 2, and he knew that Dantley would have to get it in quickly, and on the count to about 3 or 4, just before 4, he went up to try and prevent the easy pass in.
Bird plays him again. 1:13 left. Into Laimbeer. 15 on the shot clock, and a foul on Ainge.
Boy, that's a tough call right there. Danny Ainge had pretty good position against Isiah Thomas.
Bonus time for Detroit. Isiah to the foul line. His first. Check that. He's 0 for 1 at the foul line tonight.
Yeah, those type of fouls become so much more obvious as far as the reaction of the crowd is concerned as a viewer, because there's so much banging and battling going on during the course of the game, and you see that type of what looks like incidental contact, and for a foul to be called in a critical situation makes it tough.
Laimbeer out, Edwards in. Tie game.
Well, Isiah, the only starter to have gotten on the board so far here in the 4th quarter for Chuck Daly.
He missed it. Boston has the ball. The game is tied. Isiah 1 of 3 at the foul line tonight. 1 minute left. Rodman held Bird. Boy, he's the last guy you want to foul in this spot. Larry Bird to the foul line. Boston by 1. Dantley gets Rodman.
I see Chuck Daly's strategy the last time you see Dantley come in now specifically for offense was to have a play set up for Isiah, and then to have Rodman in the game to go right down and play the good defense.
A big miss by Larry Bird, of all people. So again, it's a one-point game with Boston on top. You see the time left. Both teams shoot the bonus. Foul, Parish. He came within an eyelash of tying him up, but a foul is called. And that's the last man that Boston wants at the foul line, Adrian Dantley. He has shot only one free throw tonight. He has no points in the fourth quarter. That quiets things down in the Garden with 45 seconds left. Both teams have reached the century mark. Oh, he just lipped it over. Timeout called here by Boston with 45 seconds remaining in regulation in this game. Our colleague Craig Sager is in our Atlanta studios. Let's check in with him. Craig?
Well, thank you very much, Skip. Roy Johnson sitting here with me, a man that has covered a lot of the Boston Celtics games over his career. Key point of the game you thought was back when Detroit fought back from a 7-point deficit, then took a 3-point lead.
Detroit was leading, and they had an opportunity to build on their lead, but it seemed like they lost their killer instinct, and they really didn't take advantage of that opportunity to pad their lead. And, of course, Boston came back and got the crowd back on its side, and I think that here you're going to see McHale getting the ball down low. You know, he gets the shot blocked, but there's great hustle by both sides, and Detroit ends up with the ball and comes down here with a nice opportunity on the break.
Boston, if they had made that basket, would have tied it. Instead, Detroit took a 3-point lead.
But later on, Chuck Daly came back with his starters, and his starters had not been playing well, and that's the reason they were sitting on the bench in the first place. And in this situation, they came back and they did not pick up the momentum that the reserves had built, and I think that Detroit is paying for that now.
Of course, tomorrow night we'll be back in the Western Conference playoffs. We'll have Dallas at home against L.A. The Mavs, of course, hoping to get a victory there to maybe extend that series. Now let's go back to Rick Barry and Skip Caray at the Boston Garden, where we're into a close ball game with time running out.
Okay, Roy, Craig, thank you very much. Can you make anything out of that diagram, Rick?
Well, it would look to me, based upon the way that they have things set up, that they're going to have a play set up where there's going to be a screen over in front of the bench outside of the key area in front of Detroit's bench. This is Boston, in front of Boston, in front of their bench, where they're going to do a little roll off of a screen action. They did that the last time and were able to draw the foul against Robin. And then they're going to have somebody off the screen knifing to the low post. And there'll be a couple of options on the play.
Sally and Laimbeer back in.
I would think it might be Bird coming off of the screen, and then perhaps Kevin McHale or Parish knifing into the box for the option.
Bird inbounds, Dennis Johnson, and the clock is a ticking. 40 seconds.
Bird goes off the screen. They send him down to the box. Well, now they got the good double.
Ainge scoops it up. What a shot. His first points since the first quarter. 24 seconds left. Timeout. Detroit. Isn't that an amazing shot by Ainge? He had only one field goal all night, only 4 points, all of those early in the first quarter. Look at this, Rick.
And there's a tough shot that he makes as he gets Dumars committed. Look at the good defense, almost on the ground, throws it up with 2 hands. An outstanding effort on the part of Danny Ainge. Well, watch the play again. Look at the good Detroit defense. Dumars over to help out, gets committed by coming forward. Ainge with a smart move to go by him. Isiah to help, no foul. Laimbeer to help, boom. I tell you, he was really close to being on the floor before he shot that. Incredible play on the part of Danny Ainge.
Here's the situation, folks. There are 21 seconds left in the game. There are 16 seconds left on the 24-second clock for Detroit. So even should Detroit score here and take the lead, Boston will have some time remaining, but I think the Celtics have one timeout.
They have one timeout left.
Detroit is out of timeout. So if Detroit scores, Boston will quite obviously use that timeout to get the ball at midcourt and still have a chance to win it at the buzzer. But first, Detroit has to score. They trail 102-101 What an unlikely hero for Boston after the offensive trouble he's had tonight, Danny Ainge.
Well, that's the way things work sometimes in this crazy game of professional basketball. But right now, I would think that Chuck Daly has to make a big decision. Do you want to go for your offensive shot in this situation and either win the game or lose it with the shot? Or do you want to go ahead and take a shot and hope that if it misses, you have one last opportunity to go for the offensive rebound? Since they haven't done such a great job on the offensive boards, I don't know if that's the option that he wants. But I would hope or think that he would want to have somebody penetrating to the basket in hopes that maybe Isiah going in there, he could draw the foul, have a chance for the free throws, to give yourself a few other options.
I'm always amused, no matter who the coach is in the closing seconds. They draw all that stuff on the board, and then Danny Ainge drives in, throws the ball off his shoe as he's falling down. I don't think that was the diagram.
Well, the play that we saw diagram was really for Bird. Like we said, coming off the screen, he got the ball, but the Pistons stopped the play, and that was just a freelance opportunity on the part of Danny Ainge.
Well, let's sit back and watch this one, folks. Both teams shoot the bonus. .12 on the shot clock. Dantley. Prior to the shot, a foul.
He got fouled by Larry Bird, and the whistle almost didn't blow. The whole bench of the Pistons was up, couldn't believe it. But they did get somebody going, not Isiah this time, but Adrian Dantley.
So Dantley is the man who feels the pressure now. 11 seconds left. He's 3 of 5 at the line.
Casey Jones signaling to get up the court and go. He didn't. Dennis Johnson was asking, does he want the timeout? And KC sort of get the signal, come on, just take it up, save that timeout. Let's see if they change their mind.
He missed it. Timeout Boston in a tie game. 10 seconds left. If Boston executes, it's overtime. Rather, if Boston executes, they win the game. If not, it's overtime. 102 all the score. 10 seconds remaining in regulation. Boy, both teams have had their chances at the foul line. Isiah missed a clutch free throw. Larry Bird missed a clutch free throw. Adrian Dantley.
And all three of them excellent free throw shooters.
Yes.
Well, now, obviously, Casey Jones probably going to try to get something inside, I would think, because that's where you increase the opportunities of getting a foul call, just as the Pistons were able to do that last trip. And the guys that have been doing it for him all season long for a number of years, of course, have been Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. There's also the potential of Robert Parish, but he's not the kind of guy who makes the move to the basket all that well.
If this goes to overtime, Detroit's got Laimbeer, Sally, and Edwards with 5 fouls.
Well, you see what Chuck Daly thought after that missed free throw. He wanted that 1 point desperately because that puts all the heat on the Celtics to have to come through. Otherwise, look at defeat. And right now, they have the luxury of knowing that the worst that can happen to them, unless they totally mess up, is to go to an overtime session.
If Boston scores, Detroit has no remaining timeouts. They got to rush it up the floor.
Now, I think that's going to be Bird coming from the opposite side away from the ball, getting a screen, and they're going to look to get the ball into Bird right in front of the Celtic bench, if that indeed is open for them.
What a game and what a series this is going to be.
Watch the man who sets the screen, because the man setting the screen may very well step in to get the ball as well.
John Sally checks into the game for Detroit.
I think what Casey also said is if the guy does set the screen to free the man coming baseline, what he's got to do is clear out of there. Take his man away from him so that someone isn't standing there in a position to clog things up or go double on the ball. We'll see how it works. And it is Larry Bird baseline. He's going to get a screen from Kevin McHale on the baseline. Pull out a little wider, we can see that play develop.
A foul, it's bonus time.
Now watch Bird. He'll get the screen from McHale. That's what they're looking for. Now McHale clears out.
Good if it goes. No. Sally rebounds, overtime. He really didn't get a good shot. Tremendous defense by Detroit. We'll be back with a 5-minute overtime period right after this.
About the Honda Accord, the experts at Car and Driver have said, quote, "The engine hums sweetly. The steering is deliciously accurate. Cruising is hushed. The Accord is world-class comfortable. It's enough to make us blush."
Me mind on fire, me soul on fire, feeling hot, hot, hot. Yes, sir! Hot, hot, hot.
The temperature's rising, and nothing beats the heat better than an ice-cold, great-tasting Miller High Life, Miller Lite, or Miller Genuine Draft. So make sure you stock up now, because it's getting awfully warm out there. And look for Miller's Triple Take offer. We've got a deal on a cooler that's...
Well, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, really, we go to an overtime period in this one.
Well, it's going to be fun because this is what the game's all about. You see the Celtics got Bird open off of the play. Casey Jones set up, but John Sally does a great job defensively. Larry waits for the clock to tick down. All the other players clear out. Nobody comes to double. It's just Sally against Bird. Now the double comes, but doesn't mean anything. Sally gets the hand up. Bird fades away, and again, going to his right. And it seems that Larry shoots the ball perhaps a little bit better when he turns into the left with that fadeaway move, but he's had a tough night tonight offensively, and you saw an indication of Larry Bird not being able to come through for one of the few times in his career. And here you see what's been happening to him. Last night he was 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter. Tonight, 1 for 4. Not the normal Larry Bird that we're accustomed to seeing, and he's 6 for 18 overall in this ball game.
You can see he's distressed by the way things have gone for him, but even the great ones aren't sensational every night. How many times has this man been in this kind of spot? Red Auerbach.
He may look composed there, but I'm sure that the insides are churning for him.
5-minute overtime period, and they're all 5-minute overtime periods, no matter how many we play.
And no matter what happens here in this ball game, I don't think this really bodes well for the Celtics, having to play this extra 5 minutes of overtime, expending a great deal of energy, having to go play Saturday afternoon, their third game in 3.5 days. It has to wear them down.
Sally and Parish. Reminder on the fouls: Laimbeer, Sally, Edwards, 5 each. Detroit will have a chance to score first. Dumars against Dennis Johnson. Ainge, Hawks, Isiah. They go to Edwards. He was their meal ticket throughout most of the second half. He misses, he draws the foul.
I tell you, Edwards does a nice job of taking the ball into the basket. And I'm surprised because he's had such great success that the Celtics aren't running somebody at him when he puts it on the floor, similar to what they do to Kareem or Olajuwon or some of the other outstanding offensive centers. They're just kind of letting him have his own way with Robert.
Edwards 6 of 6 at the foul line. Not anymore. Boy, the missed free throws for both teams. Laimbeer and Rodman look on. He missed them both. So Boston has a chance to draw first blood here. Bird changed his mind. What do we got? A foul on Detroit. Bird really fighting it out there. He just about let that fly, and at the last second changed his back. Third on Dumars. Dennis Johnson against Dumars. 4:25 left in OT. Danny Ainge. All of a sudden, he's the man. Ainge has 8. The last 2 field goals belong to Danny Ainge for Boston. Isiah. No. Sally the rebound. Detroit starts over. He has played very well for them both games. Dumars has it stripped away. Ainge all by himself. Boston by 4. (106-102). 3:36 left. Chuck Daly with play instructions. They want to go to Edwards, but Parish has denied him the ball. Now he has it. Goes baseline. Blocked away. Bird ahead to Dennis Johnson. Dennis takes it to the hole. Throws it out to the red-hot Danny Ainge. No. Rebound. Bird dives for it, but a foul against Boston.
Danny Ainge grabbed onto Adrian Dantley. He was trying to go for the rebound.
I bet he wishes he hadn't tried to bank that ball now, Ainge.
And now Vinnie Johnson coming in the game as Chuck Daly's trying to get some offense out there because they have been almost non-existent as far as being able to drop a field goal then.
Dumars has no fourth quarter or overtime points. Isiah Thomas only 3, and they've been out there a lot for Detroit. Vinny has 21 off the bench. Isiah, checked now by Bird, beats him, lays it up, won't fall, foul. Isiah got hit in the face. Everybody does. 3 on Bird. So Isiah goes to the line to shoot 2. He has 17 points, 9 assists in the game. When is the last time Detroit made a field goal? Boy, it's been an eternity. Isiah only 1 out of 2. Another missed opportunity.
Free throws right now certainly killing the Detroit Pistons. They've given away a golden opportunity at the free throw line so far.
They go to Parish against Sally. They can foul him out perhaps. No. Rebound Isiah. Laimbeer up top. Dantley backs in, stops, can't get it up. 5 on the shot clock. Vinnie Johnson, 3, 2. He gets it away, in and out. But the rebound again, Sally. He's out of bounds. Boston's ball. In the old days, that's called a force out, but that rule has been done away with. Boston gets it back.
They would have had to call a foul, and they're very unhappy here. Sally just lost his footing, stepped out of bounds. There was no push there. He just lost balance.
Detroit last scored a field goal with 1:38 left in the 4th. We've now got 1:58 left in OT, and a whistle and away from the ball. An offensive foul against Boston, I think against McHale.
That's who it's on.
That's his 5th. 1:56 left. Detroit has another chance, but they got to make a basket. And
they can't make free throws either.
It's a bad news situation for them. Vinnie Johnson hooks a pass to Laimbeer. No, there's Bird and Parish. Bird pulls it down ahead to Dennis Johnson. It's not over, but Boston in pretty good shape now. Timeout is called with 1:32 left. 106-103 Boston, and they will have the ball.
I just bought a set of Michelins.
You could have saved some money on another brand.
Why take chances when a Michelin's only a little more?
A tire's a tire.
My last set of Michelins got 60,000 miles.
Tell me the truth. Didn't you buy them just for the name?
Yeah. The name is Jackie.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
You've got the whole world in your hand. You've got the whole wide world in your hand. You've got the whole world in your hand. You've got the whole world in your hand.
Put the whole world in your hand with Radio Shack's new portable cellular phone. A price and technology breakthrough.
You've got the whole world in your hand.
Only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
Now here's one of the big plays in the overtime period. Watch Joe Dumars drive on Dennis Johnson, but watch, he's going to get fouled before Dennis recovers and strips him. Right here, Dennis reaches in, whacked him across the arms. He goes by him. Now he reaches back in and makes a clean strip, tosses it up the floor. Danny Ainge for the easy 2 points, but the Celtics got away with a foul before the 2-point basket.
I'll tell you what, Rick, this is an amazing statistic. Since there were 6 minutes and 13 seconds left in regulation, Detroit scored at that time. Since then, they have 1 field goal in the last 9 minutes, 45 seconds of play, and somehow the game's not over.
It just shows you how ineffective the Celtics have also been, and had they made some free throws, they would have won in regulation when they had 3 key ones missed, and then they've missed 3 free throws here in the overtime, and this game would still be tied if they had dropped those.
They're still in the game, but they need to stop the Celtics right here. 1:12, you see the time remaining. 106-103 Boston. Bird. No. Isiah Thomas. Bird's problems continue.
Well, he may not be scoring and shooting well, but he's got the 4 defensive rebounds that the Boston team has had in this overtime.
Joe Dumars. Isiah, 3-point country. 105. Isiah scoops it up. Got it on a foul. What a shot. They can tie the game. There's a field goal for Detroit.
Well, that's why I say you want to get Isiah Thomas with the ball in his hand, because he can do things just like that, create so many opportunities, and just another fantastic play on the part of Isiah. Here he goes. He makes the move against Kevin McHale, who backed off him. Nice in between. Bird's there to help out. He's able to somehow get it up and into the basket.
Can they tie the game? Yes. 21 for Thomas. Tie game, a minute left in the first overtime period. Will it be the last overtime period? We're about to find out. McHale triple teamed. Ainge, Dennis Johnson shoots his jumper. Sally the rebound. He fouled to get it. He's gone.
Well, I tell you, that's a big call to make. Sally had such great inside position on Robert Parish. What a big call to make.
Sally fouls out. Laimbeer comes in.
Let's watch the play. Sally's there in the middle of your screen in the paint area in the green. There's a shot. He screens off. Good position. He just used the left arm holding off Robert Parish. Had perfect position for the rebound, and they call him for the offensive foul.
So instead of having a chance to take the lead, Detroit has to try to stop Boston again. McHale. Bird. Nope. Dantley. Thomas. They want to get to the front court and call timeout. They do. Amazing. 24 seconds left. 17 on the shot clock. Now Detroit has a chance to break through. This is a fascinating ball game. We'll be back.
Honda Accord Coupe. It could get by on looks alone.
You gotta stop and taste the high life. Stop and taste the high life. Spend some time just finding out what you're working for, what it's all about.
Miller High Life, brewed to be smooth, never bitter. Takes time to make, time to enjoy.
Stop and taste the high life.
Miller High Life.
106-106. Neither team could hit a bull in the posterior with a bass fiddle in this overtime, Rick.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a strange game. Detroit started out missing their first 4 shots. Then Isiah Thomas made that great 3-point play to tie the game. Boston starts out making their first 2, and now they've missed their last 5 shots. And again, you have to remember those missed free throws on the part of the Pistons. One of them by Adrian Dantley in regulation cost them the victory. And now they've also missed 3 in this overtime period. They could have a 3-point lead with the ball in 24 seconds. As it is, they now have to try and score a hoop here because there's a 7-second differential between the game clock with 24 and the shot clock with 17. Again, I would expect either Adrian Dantley or Isiah Thomas to have the ball and try to go to the basket.
It paid off in a 3-point play for Thomas just a minute or so ago. Adrian Dantley will inbound it for Detroit. And it comes to Laimbeer. They want to get the ball to Isiah, and they can't do it. Dantley now hands it to him. 12 on the shot clock. I'll give you the time on the shot clock. You see the time in the game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. He got it. Isiah Thomas, a three-point basket. Timeout, Boston. What a big hoop for the little guy out of Indiana.
Now, what I don't understand is how can you let Isiah Thomas back off behind the three-point line in this situation with the clock running down and not get right up on top of him? What you're going to see, it's Kevin McHale. He's so worried about the drive. Look how far off he is. Way off. And those long arms aren't even going to help him in that situation. What a big play on the part of Isiah Thomas and a miscalculation on the part of Kevin McHale. A guard, Danny Ainge, would have been right up on him in that situation.
Well, Boston now almost has to pop away from 3 points. If they drive into the lane, every Detroit player is going to run to get out of their way, right?
Well, I think so, Skip. It's a situation now where they have got to set the three-point play up. The Pistons would play good defense, overplaying the men to force them to go inside the three-point area. And then Chuck Daly, I'm sure, is saying, fellas, whatever you do, if somebody goes up to shoot the ball, do not foul them. In fact, if I were talking to my team in this situation, I would tell them to do a great job, force them inside. If by chance they get it out to the three-point area, I would foul them immediately. Don't even give them a chance to shoot it. Make them go to the free throw line. You're going to get the ball back, and you have control of the game.
You know, I've only seen it once, and I keep bringing it up every time in this spot, but I saw Isiah Thomas with the Detroit Pistons down by 3 to the Atlanta Hawks some years back knock in a 4-point play. He was fouled as he let the shot go at the buzzer, made the three-point basket, made the free throw. That all the impossible things that have happened in this place to Detroit is a distinct possibility in this game.
No question about it. Some stranger things have happened here at Boston Garden, and I know a lot of coaches would disagree with my philosophy on that, but I still think that if you school your players to do that from the get-go, that in these situations you're going to do it, that when the ball comes in, you grab the foul. You just don't give the guy a chance to be able to get the shot up. And now remember, you have Bird and Ainge, who have both shot over 40% during the regular season with their three-point field goal opportunities. Be interesting to see what Chuck Daly comes up with here. I would think some players, some coaches like to zone up the man away from the ball. Others like to put a big guy on the ball and try to disrupt them. In this case, they're going for the zone off the ball, I think, with Dumars. Let's see. Well, now he's coming up on him. Why he doesn't have a big man if he's going to do that, I don't know.
This might be the season for the Celtics. McHale come out of there with it. Got it! The ball was supposed to go to Bird, I think. McHale hit the three-point basket. Time out, Detroit. 5 seconds left. I would swear that they were trying to hit Bird.
Now they're trying to figure out if it's a three-point shot or a two-point shot because he was right near the line. Now his foot might have been on the line. That's what they're trying to discuss to see if indeed it was a three-point shot or not. McHale's got the three-point up. The fans think it's 3 points. The officials are determining it. We'll have to try and see if we can take a look. Might be interesting to see if they decide to come over and take a look at the monitor or not.
Would they ever do that, do you think?
I don't know. But you know one thing, Skip, you're absolutely right. That pass was meant for Larry Bird, and it threw it behind him. A bad pass. It goes to Kevin McHale instead. It was a play that was fortuitous for the Boston Celtics. McHale takes it. He steps back. He is on the line. It looks like his toe is on the line from this angle.
Boy.
It is so close, it's really hard to say.
His toe
could have been touching the line. You really can't tell. It's inconclusive from that replay.
I don't know if we have another angle. I don't know how we would, but apparently they're going to call it a three-point. You cannot, in fairness, Bill Saar may have been the guy who called it. It is going to be, I think, a three-point play. And you really can you tell? You can guess that it looks like maybe, but
that toe looks like from here that it's touching the line. If I were looking at this and I had to go by this replay, I would say it was a two-point shot.
How does he get it up over Edwards anyway?
It's so close that you can easily possibly say that it's above the line and it's not touching it. But you're not supposed to be touching the line at all.
That is his second three-point basket in his NBA career. And he chose to... And he did it in this game. Isn't that amazing? What a ball game.
Again,
109, 109, I guess.
Skip, that's one of those plays, by looking at that replay, that they would say it really is inconclusive, although I would have to say, from just looking at that, and I don't know what you feel, it looked like his toe was touching the line.
You can't be 100% sure, but if they pointed a gun at you and
I'd say his toe was touching the line.
If you're wrong, we'll blow you away. You got to say it was.
We're going to try and get this here if we can blow this up to take a look at it and maybe get a little better look. They're giving the three-point signal. Let's take a look at it here. We're blowing it up. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, it's blown up here. That is so close, but it certainly does look as though his toe might be just touching the back side of the line. There certainly is no space between his toe and the three-point line. Nice job by the crew there, but I tell you, I would hate to have to be the one to make a crucial decision like that, and they have to do it without the benefit of replay.
I'm just guessing here with all the playoff games McHale has played. He's in his 8th year. I guess he's played 750 games.
Let's get down to something, though, that's even more important than that. First of all, the Celtics' leprechaun was working because that was a bad pass that went fortuitously for them into the hands of McHale, who came through with a big shot. But now there's still plenty of time left, and the Pistons have the ball. With 5 seconds left, that's an eternity in the NBA. They need only to score to be able to win this ball game.
The guy has played around 720, 750 NBA games, and he makes his second three-point basket of his life with 5 seconds left in a playoff game, in overtime, with his team down 1-0.
And this is Boston Garden, though. And that's been the history of this building. Plays like that for the Boston Celtics. You can just go on and name play after play after play, and they have done the impossible.
And he did it when he wasn't even supposed to touch the ball.
Exactly.
Incredible.
But again, we probably will see Isiah Thomas or Adrian Dantley with the ball, and they'll go for the opportunity to take a 2-0 lead in this series. Otherwise, we're going to overtime number 2.
Well, here we go. What will happen next year? What a classic confrontation. I think both teams have burned a timeout here. That's what's taken so much time. And Boston can use the rest, and so for that matter can Detroit. Only one player is fouled out. That's John Sally. Well, here we go. This building is up for grabs. Laimbeer in there with Edwards, Thomas, Dumars.
It hasn't been an exceptionally well-played game, but it's been very exciting.
Here we go. Adrian Dantley inbounds against McHale, and that's not going to be easy. Dumars nowhere near. Parish the rebound. Timeout.
Too soon.
Why did he shoot it so soon?
Exactly.
2 seconds left.
I don't know why he didn't take it and put it on the floor and go to the basket.
Rather than run it up top, they went into the corner to get him a shot, but he had an eternity to get closer. Stay with us, folks. What's going to happen next? We'll be back.
Faithfully, Honda has been #1 in customer satisfaction, #1 in import owner loyalty, #1 for the money. Introducing new Faithful, the new Honda Civic hatchback, one of the lowest priced wonders in America. You can count on it.
You know what smooth is?
You gotta stop and taste the high life.
Smooth is the sensation of cracking open a cold Miller High Life. Smooth is the anticipation of that first mouthful hitting the back of your parched throat. Smooth is the feeling of a beer that goes down easy, never bitter.
Stop and taste the high life.
Smooth is knowing how good that first Miller High Life tasted, and that it's time to enjoy another.
Well, here's the missed shot by Joe Dumars. Remember, when he first touches the ball was when the clock starts, so he had 5 seconds. So he just touched the ball, fires it up, so it goes to 4, then to 3, and now to 2 with the timeout, as Dennis Johnson calls it. So a little bit too quick for Joe Dumars on that play. And another opportunity for the Celtics to pull off a miracle here in Boston Garden.
But if they can't get it done in 2 seconds, we'll go to overtime number 2. Let's see how Boston plays it. Dennis Johnson is going to, how much longer can this Boston team stay on their feet. Well, they have shown you some courage here.
Well, they just rise to the occasion so often. But again, we talked about it last night. How many times can they reach this emotional level?
DJ Larry Bird. He walks with the ball with 1 second left.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of everything here tonight, Skip. Larry Bird having one of his toughest nights of his career. Now the Pistons have one last desperation try to get it off. Now, this is where I would think that most teams would have a play set up for situations just like this, where the pass will come into a man to be able to just take the ball and go. Here's the pass into Larry Bird. 1 step, 2 steps, and good defense. He hits the floor with the other one, and that's a traveling violation. Good defense that time on the part of the Pistons to cause Larry Bird to travel.
And pretty darn good officiating, too. It would be easy in the Boston Garden with 2 seconds left to sort of overlook that. It was a split-second thing, but it was a gutsy call by Jack Madden.
They've made a lot of them out here tonight. This is not a game that I would ever want to have officiated. It's a lot easier sitting here with the monitor looking at the replays, but they have to do it instantaneously, and they've done an outstanding job of it. And I would have to say in that 3-point shot by McHale that under the circumstances, it really was inconclusive from our viewpoint here for them to be on top of it and come up with the decision to give it the 3-point shot. I think either way would have been a call that you really couldn't dispute. Our commissioner looking on, enjoying this one. This is NBA playoff basketball where you really enjoy the emotional roller coaster that you go on.
David's enjoying the game, and he's also very happy because the lights haven't gone out all night long. 1 second left. 109 all is the score.
Now, as I was saying about the play set up, I remember with the Warriors, Al Atlas had a play set up where I would come off of a screen coming towards the ball away from where their benches would be, set by the center, and then making a sharp angle down to the sideline, and the pass was thrown and led so that you can catch the ball going to the way you would shoot the ball, so you can just catch it and shoot it all in one motion. Of course, a lot of teams now zone the man off and drop back and try and prevent that pass, but they do have plays set up for these situations to get it in with one last-ditch opportunity for them. Free throws, though, again, Skip, again, we must not forget them. 3 missed free throws by the Pistons in this overtime period have cost them a chance, a second opportunity to win. Dantley missed one that was costly in regulation. 3 missed in overtime, so they're very fortunate to still be alive.
Here we go. Vinnie Johnson has checked in. That's not a bad idea. One second left. Maybe a little more than a second, maybe a little less than a second, depending on.
Well, I think if it goes to 1, there's got to be less.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's why I would like the international clock in these situations, which shows the tenths of seconds.
Oh, here we go. They can't get it away. No foul. Isiah's on the deck. No foul called. He and Dennis Johnson collided. Both are shaken. Both appear to be all right. We'll go to the second overtime, as we almost knew we would. 5 more minutes of basketball remaining. Boston and Detroit, they're tied at 109.
With the world's funniest tennis coach, Jan Tiriak. This guy's a million laughs. Hey, remember the one you told me about the chicken and the tennis ball? That just cracked me up. Here, have another Miller Lite. Yeah, light tastes great and it's less filling. And you don't want to get filled up when you're having as good a time as we are. Right, Jan?
For serious beer drinkers, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Oh, stop it, man. You're killing me.
Everybody knows the Honda Civic has always been a practical car, but would you know one if you saw one? That was then. This is now. Honda introduces the new Civic. It has more doors, more comfort, and more advanced engineering. Then, now.
Well, this is like 2 heavyweight fighters. They've gone about as far as they can go. Who's going to hit the canvas? It's been a tremendous basketball game. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you.
Well, I think all of the players are really putting everything they've got out on the line in this ball game. it's such an important game for both teams. I mean, for Detroit, if they can win this game and go away from here with a 2-0 lead, I would think that it'd be almost impossible for the Celtics to be able to come back and pull out this series. Boston is aware of that. They know that this is a crucial game for them to at least even the series, and knowing that they have to go to the Silverdome to try and pull one away there. But again, every time you go into this another overtime period, you just wonder how often can the Boston Celtics continue to perform at such a high level, both emotionally and physically, after they have played so many minutes. You're looking at a man, John Sally, who I think, had he not fouled out, skipped at least even the series and even the series, and knowing that they're jumping ability. I know that they have a play set up for John Silver from underneath the basket, and I'm sure that that might have been the case, but John is fouled out, so that wasn't what was going to happen as Bill Walton looks on. And remember, two key players of the big men for Detroit playing with 5 personal fouls, Laimbeer and Edwards.
Jack Madden just came over before. He's been quiet lately. Except, of course, for that 3-point miracle shot.
I wouldn't be surprised if the level of play moves up a little bit this period. You see some better shooting.
Thomas and Parish are on the floor. Edwards is fouled. He'll shoot too. Thomas and Parish almost had a little set to earlier.
Now, these teams are both too good to continue at such an ineffective offensive pace. Isiah Thomas goes over and sets a little back screen over there. It gets knocked down to the ground. Robert Parish runs right over him. He's laying in the lane a long time. Edwards goes in, and there's the grab by Danny Ainge. And he continued up to the basket, so he'll go to the line for 2 fouls. And that's 2 times now that Robert Parish has sort of trampled Isiah Thomas. This time he didn't have any words to say to him, however. And there you see Rick Mahorn, as you pointed out, very well could be having problems with that back. Most of the time he lays down like that, has a difficult time sitting up when he goes out of the game.
Ainge has fouled out of the game, and he kept him in it. Edwards makes the first. He didn't have a big night, but boy, he got some clutch hoops. Edwards with 18 off the bench. Tie game. Jim Paxson is now the 5th Celtic in the game. McHale set the pick for Dennis Johnson. Bird. McHale. He has 24. Dumars. Been a long time between drinks for him. He now has 7.
I like your analogy, Skip.
I didn't even mean it like that. 3:45 left. 113-0. Dennis Johnson. Jim Paxson. No whistle. Break for Detroit, perhaps. Edwards the rebound. Dantley shoots 2. That's 5 on Bird.
Set 4 on our graphic, but they're showing 5 officially. So both Bird and McHale playing with 5.
3:25 left. Detroit can take the lead. If Detroit loses this game, they will rue their free throw shooting leak, boy. And Dantley, a great free throw shooter. He's missed 4 tonight. 4 out of 8. I'll be doggone. Laimbeer keeps it alive. They still have the ball. Isiah. Dumars. 19-footer. No rebound. Edwards, but he
Foul's on Laimbeer, not on Edwards.
So he's gone.
Rick Mahorn is going to come back in.
Ainge has fouled out. Sally has fouled out. Laimbeer has fouled out.
Let's watch Bill Laimbeer, number 40, off this missed shot by Joe Dumars. He had the good look at it. He goes up. Whoa. I'll tell you, there's been some tough fouls called out here tonight.
113 all, McHale. Dennis Johnson. Parish, he's been quiet for a while. Throws it away. Intended down under for Jim Paxson. 2:40 left in overtime, number 2. Isiah. Boy, what defense these teams are playing. 6 on the shot clock. Isiah scoops up a prayer, gets no answer. Bird is on the deck. Dumars dives for the ball. Mahorn comes out of there with it. Detroit with another chance. What basketball. Timeout, Detroit. There are bodies flying all over the place, and I don't know if I've ever seen two teams play better defense than they have in the last hour or so of this game.
They certainly haven't backed off.
113 all. We'll be back.
Us rap musicians like to think the best light beer is the one we drink. And every rapping cat I know drinks Miller Lite. Ain't that so? Tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. Let's fill it. Lights got body. Lights got soul. Don't stop me now. I'm on a roll. Get it right. There's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Monday night, Superstation TBS presents the original theatrical version of Cleopatra, winner of 4 Academy Awards and laden with the best that money could buy. Rex Harrison, Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor, Cleopatra. 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation Monday night.
Tomorrow night, the Western Conference Showdown moves to Texas, where Dallas fires away at mighty Los Angeles in the NBA playoffs. 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow.
And Skip, let's take another look at the play that everybody's going to be talking about for quite a while. Now, look at the toe of Kevin McHale. And again, as you said, if somebody said you must make a call based upon this replay, I would have to say that that toe is touching the line, although it is inconclusive. But what a clutch shot by Kevin McHale as he knocks this one in. There were 7 seconds left to go. They trail by 3 in overtime, and he tied the ball game.
I know this. All 3 officials here wish his foot had been either 2 inches forward or 2 inches back.
Well, it really is irrelevant because they made the decision, and that's what's going to stand.
113 all. We're in, where are we? Second overtime. 2:16 left.
They're falling like dominoes out here.
I wish you and I got paid by the word. We'd be history after this one. Edwards with the inbounds pass. What a game. Parish and Edwards bang at one another. Isiah stolen by Dennis Johnson. He's got Parish with him. He goes to the hoop. No. Rebound by Edwards. No foul. Dennis Johnson is wrapped around the basket support. But neither team can run. They're too tired.
They got a man missing. Dennis Johnson now comes into your picture. The Pistons weren't quick enough to take advantage of it.
Dumars from 18. Detroit by 2. Dumars has 2 baskets in the second overtime. His first field goal since the first quarter. McHale, Edwards and Dumars double him. 18-footer Dennis Johnson. He knocks it down. 18 for DJ. 1:20 in overtime 2. Dennis Johnson knocks another one away. 10 on the shot clock. You see the time in the period. Isiah. Jump ball. Take the basket away. And he's fortunate he wasn't called for an offensive foul.
I agree with you. Larry Bird, pretty good position, goes right up, has his hands on the ball. They both come down. Terrific call by Jack Madden.
Detroit.
Isiah outjumped Larry Bird. I mean,
amazing.
6'1" against 6'9".
Less than a minute, as you see. 15 on the shot clock. Isiah. Nope. Boston's ball. McHale with it. You see the time remaining. The game is tied. We'll give you the shot clock. Dennis. No, he's fouled. He'll shoot two. Dumars got it.
I still think, Skip, that you must try to go to the basket in these crucial situations. Even though they may not call the fouls as closely, you're certainly going to have a better opportunity of having something create for yourself. You can even sometimes also pull up and get a nice look at the hoop. But just looking strictly for the outside shot doesn't always pay off.
That's the first free throw attempted by Boston in overtime. In either of the overtime period. They're now 1 of 1. Detroit 4 of 9. Timeout, Detroit. Timeout on the floor. 43 seconds left in overtime.
Right now, the only thing that would taste better than a nice cold one is a cold filtered one. Yeah, if you want a beer whose real draft taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, we've got it down cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
Hi, this is Grandpa, and I'll be your host for Super Scary Saturday on the Superstation. Get ready for the tag team bout of old time when Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan take on Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. This picture gives new meaning to the saying, 3 heads are better than 1. So join me, Grandpa, for Super Scary Saturday.
12:05 Eastern on Superstation TBS Saturday.
Well, what do you think, Coach? 117, 150. This is one of the most enjoyable games I've ever seen.
Well, under the circumstances, playing with so much on the line, it's really terrific to see these athletes go out here and give so much of themselves. And we have said all evening long, it's just incredible to think of how often the Celtics have been called upon to do this throughout the playoff series and just how much can they give and still survive. But right now, with 43 seconds remaining in this ball game, it's really still anybody's ball game. An opportunity for Chuck Daly to set things up offensively. Again, I would think he's going to try to get them to go to the basket. That seems to make the most sense. They've had some decent success with it. And hope that if they do get the foul, that the guys can knock the free throws in, because that's been their demise so far. They just have not been able to make the free throws that could have gained them a victory on a couple of occasions, both in regulation and in overtime.
So Detroit will inbound at midcourt. Remember, every overtime lasts 5 minutes. It's not like high school where sometimes it's 3 minutes and all that. And we could be headed toward number 3. We'll find out shortly. 18 on the shot clock. On the shot clock. Dantley. Parish. Perimeter jump shot.
There's only 1 second. They're going to have to foul. 1 second between the shot clock and the game clock. The Pistons must foul or get a steal.
This place is up for grabs. And Isiah comes in and takes the foul. It took, well, in fairness, both teams are so tired, it took Detroit a little time to figure out exactly the situation that you called.
But again, the Pistons did not get to go to the basket. Credit the Celtics with doing a good job defensively to prevent that opportunity. And their outside shooting has let them down, and they'll look back on this game and say, why couldn't we have made 1 free throw?
Dennis Johnson, 20 points, 10 assists. Now he's the guy under the gun. 21 for DJ. Timeout Detroit. They have 9 seconds. And in that time, they have to figure out a way to score 4 points. It seems impossible, but after tonight, stick around.
You gotta stop and taste the high life. Stop and taste the high life. Spend some time just finding out what you're working for, what it's all about.
Miller High Life, brewed to be smooth, never bitter. Takes time to make, time to enjoy.
Stop and taste the high life.
Miller High Life.
Pride, pain, power, prejudice in the hearts of men, aching to bring home victory, decoration, hope for peace. John Wayne and Robert Montgomery are heroes in the end, and they keep on fighting until the fight itself is spent. They were expendable. 2:05 Eastern on the Superstation Saturday afternoon. Winner of 4 Academy Awards, Rex Harrison, Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor, Cleopatra. 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation Monday night.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know how it's going to wind up. It looks good for Boston, but they've sort of put to rest, at least for tonight, the stuff about those old-timers can't go back-to-back. They have gone 48, 53, closing in on 58 minutes tonight. And now they have the lead.
And they're going to have to go again Saturday afternoon, but I really think that it's a situation where the Detroit Pistons have game number 5 etched in their memory for a lifetime of last year's playoff series. Game number 2 will join game number 5.
I will never, as long as I live, forget Larry Bird running by that pass and Kevin McHale making his second three-point basket, and we're guessing between 700, 750 games. Detroit needs 2 possessions. They need to score, they need to figure out a way to get the ball back, and they need to score again, and they've got to do all that in 9. 6. A foul.
Boston had a foul to use. Smart play on the part of Dennis Johnson. Make them use up a little bit of time. They had to use 3 seconds.
That's a third of the time. That's a smart play. Now they can almost let Detroit execute here. And out there, Edwards is helpless. Blocked by Dennis Johnson. It's academic now. 3 seconds left in the second overtime. What a job by the Celtics. What a game by both teams. Vinny for 3. It's over. Boston has evened the series at a game each, and that means TBS will have a game 5 next Wednesday. Boy, oh boy, you'll never see a better ball game. We'll be back right after this.
Academy Award winners Sean Connery and Mark Harmon in a story about the limits of courage and the price of honor. The Presidio, rated R, starts Friday, June 10th at a theater near you.
What's going on? It's the Monroe free ride sale. Buy 3 Monroe shocks or struts and get a 4th shock free.
Great. I'll give the old dinosaur a better ride.
See your Monroe ride expert soon.
Most dryers can blow the curl right out of your hair.
Turn on the Laimbeer.
The Curly Top Diffuser Dryer blows gently around your waves and curls.
Turn on the Laimbeer.
Keeping the curl and saving the style. The unique design makes it easy to use. Great for guys, too.
Turn on the Laimbeer.
It doesn't cost a fortune to look like a million. The Curly Top Diffuser Dryer from Windmere. Available now at a store near you.
You know what a flat old tater chip is, huh? It's like fishing where there ain't no fish. Ooh, but nothing flat about Ruffles potato chips. Ruffles got ridges. That's right. And they taste just as good as having them fish come jumping right in the boat, looking right on your eye and saying, Justin, me, I surrender. I guarantee.
Ruffles brand potato chips. The taste won't leave you flat.
I caught the whole bunch. Hey.
One of the activities around the house we enjoy is washing the family car. Ain't she a beauty? And when we're finished, we enjoy making A&W root beer floats, flipping in the ice cream, then pouring in that rich, creamy A&W. Now you try it. Darn, only had 20 payments left. Make yourself an A&W root beer float.
Tonight's NBA playoff game has been brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there is only one light beer. And by Honda, who invites you to experience the all-new Accord Coupe at your local Honda dealer.
Well, there have been games, I'm sure, that were artistically more pleasing, but you never find one more exciting. In double overtime, 119-115, Boston wins it. Squares the series at a game each. Game 3 will be Saturday afternoon in Detroit. Game 4 Monday afternoon in Detroit. Game 5 Wednesday night here in Boston. And we'll have it for you on TBS. Tonight's Miller Lite player of the game, Dennis Johnson. 22 points, 10 assists, and he was the man both offensively and defensively down the stretch in the second overtime. On behalf of Miller Lite, Turner Broadcasting proud to donate $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in his name.
And
Rick,
Skip,
any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. They can talk about that controversial three-point shot by Kevin McHale, all of the other perhaps controversial calls that were made or fouls called or not called. But what it all boils down to, the Detroit Pistons gave this game away at the free throw line.
They had their chances to win it. So did Boston. The most talked about play, I guess, will be the three-point basket by Kevin McHale. The Sands of Iwo Jima with John Wayne is next, and both these teams could have used John Wayne here tonight. Kim Belton, our producer, Lonnie Dale, our director, Michael Sheehan, our technical director, Richard Croker, Ray Smaltz, our associate directors, Tim Rockwood, our producer, Jim Stamos, our statistician. 119-115, Boston, the final. Thanks for being with us. Hope you enjoyed it. We sure did. So long, everybody.
The Joffrey Ballet on Avia aerobic shoes. The LA Raiders on Avia athletic shoes. If you're serious about your workout, be serious about your shoes.
Tonight, John Wayne is a tough Marine sergeant who molds a rebellious squad into a crack-fighting troop and leads them to war. Sands of Iwo Jima, a Superstation premiere presentation.